Ooh, didn't change the go live notification. Let's see how silly that makes the stream look. I'm quite curious. What does it say? What does it say? Okay, it's the Silly Comp Sunday one. Whatever. What are the thing? Right. All right. Congratulations, Devi, on your 1500th chat in the Squid School chat. And hi, stars from Michael, and Bad Gamer, and Jamie, and Hyperchip, and Hydro Airplane, and Inky Osiris, and Sir Tyrion, and My Gets, and Mr. Dale. You should make a Discord. I have made a Discord. We have almost 5,000 members in this Discord. It's been there for some time. And hello, Nas. I'll get you a link in just a second here. There it is. And Nas and Zelda Hatch and 2G Wolf and Friday on Mars and Not Escura and Juicebox and M and Annie. Hello, Annie. And Annie says hello to everyone. And Panda and Jeffy Cat and Lee. Did you see that you were my second most watched stream? I don't think I did. Did you post that on Twitter or something? And Moth Mage, hello. And Pick Pig and Squid Trick. And Chara exclamation mark. I don't think that's pro Chara, but hello. Nightbot's been in here forever. Like, we had Nightbot as a means of moderation back when this was the Bravest Twitch channel. All right. I'm definitely not pro Chara. There you go. Dr. Disrespect stream Splatoon waiting room. Yeah, exactly. And hello, Jimmy Duke and Phantomu. I'm glad you remembered instead of foregoing. And hello, Ethan. Nintendo Switch year interview. Oh, no, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out at some point. All right. I am going to go and really quickly get into the voice chat here because we need to get in there. And Buzz is already waiting. Perfect. Hello, Buzz. Buzz is in the Discord here, just muted. I'm double checking to make sure. Okay. Hi, Buzz. I'm going to turn you up a little bit because you were kind of quiet on my end. Say something again?
I can turn myself up if you'd rather.
Try. There it is. Okay, you're good, you're good, you're good. All right. Woomy. All right. And then We only have one today. There was going to be another VOD review today, but they came down bad with the flu, and we're not able to...
Oh, I also have the flu.
Oh,
Imagine
wonderful.
that.
Good to hear that everybody's catching it right now. That's just wonderful. Alrighty, well...
Because it's like really cold.
Yeah. It's also a stressful time of year, and so everyone's immune systems are down. It happens. I am going to really quickly get a password put in and send that off to you through DMs. Just make sure not to read that one out loud so that the people can't
Not
snipe us.
friended, I don't think.
Hadn't we
to
played
do that.
before? Maybe not. I'll send you my friend code just in case.
We have, but I think it was through someone else instead.
Okay.
I need to be able to look at chat. I'm probably gonna be reading chat.
And then Devi, I have sent you a DM with the friend code, and Jamie, would you like to join us?
Been given secrets.
Ooh. Is it okay to book a 1 hour Metafy session for 2 replay codes, or would 2 hours be better ideally?
I've sent
If
you
you-
a friend request before.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
sorry.
still there,
Sorry,
and I'm
keep
just waiting on
talking.
it. So Lee, the 1 hour, we wouldn't be sure to be able to get to the second one. Sometimes we can, and sometimes we can't. So it would depend on how quickly we're able to get through them. 2 hours, I would be able to guarantee that we'd be able to get through 2 for sure. But sometimes we do actually spend a full hour on just one. Okay, let's see. There it is. And let's see if I need to delete anybody. It's looking like it's good. When's your next tier list coming out? Curious to see where you place new weapons and changed around existing ones. I guess... I haven't seen enough to know where to place something like the Snipe Rider. That's a weapon that... It's a little bit of a blind spot for me in terms of the weapon class, but also just I haven't seen enough people using it, so it's really hard for me to judge. So the new weapons, like, once I have more of an idea of where I think they fall, then I'll feel more comfortable making something like that. Oh wait, we need the cats back. Cats, please save us.
Come back, cats. Cats plus funny frog with strawberry.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Did you figure out your code for the command?
Yeah, I did. I forgot that you actually have to do the HCP:// stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
We're finally setting up the Twitch shoutout command. Now that we realize Nightbot appreciates us, we don't have to use the copy paste shoutout command anymore.
Oh my goodness. Jamie, try saying something really quickly. I just adjusted your volume on stream.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool. This should work now.
Use me as a test subject. Hey, it
There
worked.
you go. So now everyone go follow Debbie.
Shoutouts to Debbie.
Woo!
Yeah, I think it's appropriate on the occasion of Debbie's 1500th chat message in this
Yeah,
channel.
that was funny. Looking up at my at the Twitch recap on viewership, and it's like you have chatted in Squid School 1,499 times, and I'm like, come on!
Well, it's more now.
It is definitely more now.
All right. What's the mode? It is zones, mahi, and wahoo.
Yeah.
What is it? Jamie, for the Twitch link, can you put the can you edit the command once more and actually make it that the link goes after the here part, or just
Oh yeah. I
fix
can do
it up?
that. I can do that in a second. Here, actually, let me just.
Do you want back or do you want me to go mid, Jamie?
Oh no, I was switching to the junior.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Oh, and
How you doing, Buzzy?
I'm not well.
Oh,
Yeah, Buzzy has the flu.
oh. Believe me, I've been there for the past 2 weeks. I know the feeling.
You know who I am? It's lovely. Cat member.
there you go. Tess is a cool person.
Test is my favorite viewer.
Oh yes, my favorite.
You should
viewer, chat member.
you should check your YouTube donation thingy, Jerry.
Yeah.
I did just get word that the anime hero donated $20 through Super Chat. Thank you.
There we go.
I've been trying to improve my like that literally just came through. I've been trying to
I
improve,
just saw it on the corner.
been trying to improve my general awareness of the game state, i.e. who's scoring right now, how many players are alive, and I'm having enough time. Do you have any tips or simple rules I can place on myself to help? So, awareness and things like that are tricky because what you need to do to be able to lower your mental load is have certain things be second nature, have certain things be habits. So the better you are at like moving around without really having to think too much about it, the less you're gonna have to focus on that, and the more attention you'll be able to spend on other things.
Bus Prochera.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for the $2 donation
Amy.
and
Jamie,
there we go.
I know.
Yeah.
But... yeah. Well, can't shout out the kid. Well, that's just we have to
No,
make
no.
it so that what.
No, with the in the shout out message, it still has the adcom shout out and adcom for the start of the message. I don't think that's supposed to be there.
That is not supposed to be there. You are correct.
All right. So
I'll give you a second.
Prochera is playing this game, guys. This is
Yes.
this is not Gem. This is all Prochera.
Not again.
Featurette from Prochera. Well, we got a lot of paint, but beware of leader. Leaders. Oh, hello, not. Oh, not gonna get fall off.
I'm being pushed by 2 on right.
Murdered by a knot.
I got the knot. Oh, it's a leader.
I'm pushing leader.
Getting ink.
Brush is on
One
me.
down.
There's something on the
Another
left.
one on
here.
right. Weak.
Brush.
I got the left.
There you go.
2 on right. Leader's
Yeah,
moving left. Actually, no,
Top
that's Junior.
left.
That's Junior.
One might drop.
Almost through wave.
Nice specials.
Wave is ready. They're popping now.
There's one behind this block and 2 top left. I hit him twice.
Well,
Top.
I tried.
All good. All good.
I got the brush.
Not down.
We still got zone here.
Putting this
Help me,
back
Jane, help me,
over right. I got one.
Nice
There
booyah.
was another one in that corner, but they must have jumped out. Oh, top leader, hello.
they
Oh,
definitely
I got
There
it.
you go.
Knock got me top right. They're on their snipe now.
Rush
Okay,
went
oh, I
left,
see him.
up on the
On sponge,
platform.
on sponge.
They're plat actually.
Leaders just sitting there
Here,
on the
Abby.
top right.
Yeah.
I have to back up a second.
Yeah, I can't stop.
But yeah.
Oh wow.
2 down.
Three
There's 2
down.
down.
It's just me.
One pushing from zone,
I'll have
trying to
Booyah
get
Bomb.
around.
I have Booyah Bomb to help you guys push in if you want to. Tell me
Okay.
what side you want to push in on and I'll throw it for you.
That's on left.
I'm going to take this as a put it on left.
No.
Oh shoot.
There's a Nautilus sitting there. I was gonna say
We
like
were.
wait on it and let us get regrouped and figure out where they
Well,
are.
we were. Everyone was all right there. But
Well, we were getting
yeah, the
displaced
figure-
and we didn't
it
know where
was
anyone
the-
was.
that was the other thing. I'm gonna die. Well,
Yeah. Well, there's lead here.
2 coming over the top left. Careful, Buzzy. We're 2 down.
Oh, I traded.
Where do you go now?
Yeah, we're not gonna have time.
Get no time. Yeah.
Okay, well that was difficult.
Sometimes you
Anyway,
come
going.
around, right?
I didn't actually finish answering the question. I want to go back to that real quick. So, regarding awareness, part of it is developing the muscle memory and the habits that there are fewer things you have to focus on. But part of it is also that you need something that's going to like interrupt your focus. You need something that's going to actually like make you stop thinking about what you're thinking about and focus on what's more important. And so this is what I call alarm bells. They're these things that's like when you see them on your screen, they need to be causing you to immediately just like cancel all previous thinking and looking at whatever they warn you about. So ink coming out of your peripheral vision that's the wrong color, there's an enemy player very nearby or you're being shot at. Little things like that, they need to make you just immediately stop whatever you're doing. And so things like that can include how many players are up, what the state of the objective is, but it's just important to like start training yourself to react very quickly and impulsively to those things.
pork. Also, what is it? It was pointed out in chat that that blue sweater with Ninja Squid in the game, it's like you're basically wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
like you're saying IRL?
yes.
Yeah.
Leaders on the right with Hydra.
Salmon
Ooh, double
should have
double
taken
back
this
face off. Alright, this should be fun. I say that in a very sarcastic manner. Okie dokie. Oh, on the ledge, on the ledge.
Got one. This. Okay.
If we could potentially, when we get the chance,
Oh my
doing
God.
back flanks to try to get to the far left side or right side are going to be beneficial here.
Yeah.
We're 2 down, be careful.
Don't mind me.
Oh, I thought they were confused. Yeah.
There are 2 behind you, Debbie.
Sabers on watch.
They're actually in front of me and they don't see me.
Good job.
Them both.
One ledge.
Oh,
There you go.
I got a booyah.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, the laser,
Traded
the
leader.
laser gave me a bit of a fright. Whoopsies.
There's a junior on zone.
Yeah, there's about,
Yep.
and the Hydra's probably watching it. I couldn't tell you from where though.
Oh, left.
I'm
Okay.
marked. Wee, bye.
Jen,
Okay.
can you try doing flanks?
Got one.
I'm gonna booyah the
Nice.
zone. I'm probably way too far,
Did you
but
say Gem or Buzzy?
you.
Gem.
Well, I've got
You're
to
the most
here.
equipped for it because we have 2 zone painters, so.
Thank you. I'll try to
Hydra
do
down.
that.
Oh!
There you go. Oh,
Oh, hello!
you guys made good job.
Just Wiper.
Yeah, they're respawning. It was wipe.
They dropped right.
Why is Wahoo World being a horror game for me
Wiper's
today?
still here. Another one
Camera out.
Oh!
trying to zook the Hydra.
2 right, 2 right. 1 zone and 2 right.
Hydra's their
miss.
steps.
Still one on the back right.
Hydra dropped.
Our right.
I had to back
Uh-oh.
up.
Why? Oh, I thought we were on the front. Whoopsies. 2 zone. Oh.
Hydra their wall.
Ah, dang.
I'm
Gotta
last.
fall off. Careful, flank by Junior. Oh. Yeah.
Hydra's watching
Oh,
me.
that's
Their
two.
glass.
Oh, there's a hammer.
I'm down.
I'm marked.
Stuck.
I think I need to go.
Oh
Careful, we're
boy.
not quite ready yet. Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of have to start going.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
I'm down to torpedo.
I've done a Hydra. Okay.
Woo. I got distracted in the middle there because one of the chats was having issues.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shh. FBI shows up. This is a raid.
Not again.
Alrighty.
Oh, but yeah, Jem. When you get the chance, can we try to like make it so that only mods can do the shadow command? Like, not right now, of course, but later on.
Oh, there are others who can do the shoutout command?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
set that just mods can do it. There's a certain setting that you have to fix on that.
Is that for Nightbot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoutouts. Yeah, I can fix that. I can fix that. Okay, that should be set.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Yeah, no.
For the other mods that we have here in chat, we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on YouTube chat today.
Okay. Okay. We can paint this con very easily.
Oh,
We just have
absolutely.
to- this. We have to keep it with aggression.
I'm gonna flank left.
With what we have.
There's one coming that way.
I got the roller.
Nice.
There's two
I
on
got the
left.
normal
Got one.
roller.
Capping zone. There you go. Good job.
They're on the wall.
On the wall.
Yeah, I was out of range. I didn't realize
Dang.
they outranged me. They're coming
Roller's
left
coming
glass. One wall and one on the side.
Okay. Watch out for Booyah Bum.
Everybody see? Oh yeah, I see you.
Jet.
Watch out for jet. Try coming through lot, like there are lots.
Hit him twice. Nice.
Gonna Booyah Bum. Ooh.
We're
Oh,
two down.
shoot,
We're three
wrong.
down.
Good cap.
There's gonna be a carbon here. Hello. Goodbye.
Nice, nice. Still on zone.
I'm just holding the right the best I can here. There's two on zone,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
to my two to my right and one on middle.
I have Zook ready.
There's two still on
Zuki.
zone.
Cut it
Oh,
out.
try got me on the right. They went back to zone. Oh boy.
We're getting
Here we go
Booyah.
again.
Careful, Gem. Yeah. You two at me. You're good.
I think one dropped right. Yeah, they're trying to come at me. I got him traded.
Nice.
Oh, Booyah Bomb. I'm gonna put it on the back left middle here. Watch my jump.
Yep.
Didn't get anybody.
Oh,
but
no,
the back.
carbon right.
Oh, that Zuka's
You
on.
guys out?
The
Oh,
Zuka,
we're
there's
three
two
down.
of us.
Let's see, Gem. Okay, we need to build specials up and. Like, we
Mine
can't-
was just used. It's being filled pretty quickly though. One might be used. One lurking.
Watch out.
There's our steps.
Yeah, low
Yeah.
steps.
You got that.
Got it.
Nice.
There you go. Good job. We can
200
go
plat.
with this.
Oh, no.
They got two of us.
I can't cap this on my by myself. Oh, maybe I could.
Ah.
I got one.
Oh.
Yeah, we got the
Oh, we
neutral.
died.
but,
We died on zone. We died.
like, that was the only way that I was going to get it neutral in the first place. It was not a winnable
yeah.
match.
With how we're going here, what is it? Jamie, you might have to go initiate a little bit more Battle Junior. I can follow up
Wow,
with you.
Junior. Okay, I can do that.
Can we put YouTube chat on like a slow mode? Because there are bots.
Might be a good idea. Yeah, the the bots are crazy today. But Annie's there too, so it looks like Annie's been on top of it as well. So, good job, Annie. YouTube guidelines.
Thank you, YouTube guidelines.
Oh my god. Alright.
subscriber only would be?
I'm looking into it right
I
now.
don't know. Tried to dodge roll like I was using toolies, but I'm not.
Oh,
I'm also
back out.
very bad. I don't know.
Oh shoot! Sleep mode for the rest of us.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You're good.
Unless if Jamie, if you want to back, and I'll play a Mort of mid and apply pressure from behind. Up to you.
What would you go? Like, would you like?
Great question. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, I'd be willing
The
to.
spammers are used stick controls.
What was it? It was Mahi and Wahoo.
Mahi
What
and,
can I
yeah.
use on Mahi zones?
Someone's asking for recon learning advice.
Give me just a second. I need to work on the permissions here real quick.
You need your Keck W. Working is always okay.
What? I know.
No, deck the halls with Mahi zones.
La 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 la.
Exactly.
I don't know that there. Let me Google something really quick.
YouTube guidelines just subbed. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
Here, I made the room same pass.
Okay. The menu options are a little bit different. But here we go.
Bots are spamming and I'm being bad at the game.
There. Hopefully 20 seconds is a good amount of time.
I feel like that might be a little too much. But
What should we go, 10?
And
yeah.
Alright, there it is.
Yahoo.
Okay.
Now entering molasses mode.
molasses mode.
I should, first of all, actually talk.
There. Putting the password in and I'll be right back in.
I feel as though I am bringing
I still have to
the
get there
group
too.
down.
What? No.
Oh, no, you're doing fine.
I am okay.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Fuck.
So recon mode advice. What was the? Let me find the actual question here. Advice on learning better on recon mode. I don't use recon mode for a lot. It's not like, because like recon mode is a tool. It's not an objective. It's not like you have to get better at recon mode. So just like, if there's ever something you want to learn about a map, or you just want a space where you can run around, or like figure out positions or something, then you go to recon mode. But like, it's a means to an end. It's not a goal in and of itself. I don't tend to use recon mode that much. I like, it's more often for videos than it is for me to like train anything.
Oh, Buzzy, you can stick with Junior if you want. Don't worry.
Yeah, play whatever you're comfy on. We'll,
don't know.
we'll flex around that.
What's your review on? What weapon were you playing in the review?
Splat dualies.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah, that actually works
Okay.
really well in this comp.
Mm-hmm.
Sure thing.
Alrighty.
Super chats bypass the slow mode. I mean, if they want to spam donations, I'm not necessarily going to object to that. There are some circumstances under which I would, but I'll take their money.
But then don't you run the risk of them like refunding it
You can refund
later
them.
on? Yeah, you can. I've heard some instances of that happening.
Ghostbusters!
Yeah, I mean, if they say anything inappropriate, then they're getting banned anyway. Doesn't matter how much money they give me.
Spam donations, you say? $10.
Oh my god, thank you, Anime Hero. Also, I am,
boy.
like, getting notifications for that, Debbie. Like, I don't need...
I know, I just thought it was funny as soon as it
Okay,
came
okay.
up. So I
Just
read
making
that
sure you,
one.
you didn't feel like you needed to read them for me.
No. I know you
just
get
like,
them on a bit of a delay, but the fact that this one came up right after it was said, I've just read it out loud because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
no, you're
read
good,
it out
you're
loud.
good.
I just like reading chat in general as well. It's
I'm
not
just happy.
specifically for you.
I've also developed habit of, you know, these things
like
will
read-
catch my eye in, you know, streamer mode.
And like
Whenever
fucking
one or
time.
more
Who the
players DC'd.
Who
Let's
disconnected?
I don't know.
All right,
Oh.
take 3. All right.
If they spam donations,
Here.
at least Gem will be rich.
Have specifically mocha.
Is it mocha frappe?
I should make more tea, but Splatoon. Another
my-
spam
Oh my
donation.
god!
50? Okay.
Thank you so much. That's so generous of you. Where frog? Okay, you know what? Here, have frog. In celebration of donation, there is frog.
Frog. Can't see the frog, but I'm sure they look amazing.
Oh yes, it is the classic strawberry frog.
Insert
my
the
favorite
song
flavor
here,
of
because I
frog.
don't really remember it that well.
I am strongly considering going and getting cat cam and stuff ready for like I might make that like a Christmas gift to myself.
Yo, cat cam for the new year.
'Cause This coming year,
Cat cam.
I believe I will have.
We have a.
We're not sure,
sorry.
but we're not sure, but we might be up to the point where I've made up all the money that I invested on like getting the channel to where it is. So
Yo!
it might be a good kind of milestone point to actually get that upgrade.
It's actually huge. Nice.
This big pom pom's moment.
It's still stressful because the growth has been declining rapidly, and things are actually
Aw.
pretty pretty low right now.
Ow.
But
Got one.
even just breaking even on it is huge. A lot of people never get to do that.
We have a cat that sometimes lays down on my bed, so we could probably set up a cat cam.
2 on their
Baby is
plat.
down. We is
Oh,
out.
there's a leader.
It's because my room-
Jamie, let me know when you're gonna switch sides. Go opposite to you.
Okay, I'm on right tank right now.
I know.
Oh shoot, I'm down.
Okay.
You tank.
Oh, I
Good
got him.
job. 2 down. Near the edge.
Not that I've paid off my student loans, that I have profited from the student loans of others.
Oh, they got me before I could fire it. Rip.
Student loans of others.
Back left. Buzzy, you
'Cause
can go
that's
in
how
and
the
help him.
college.
Go into
that's
the
how
right.
college
Go into the right.
education works.
Shoot to the right.
Yeah, go right, go right. I'm coming
I'm right
to you.
behind you guys.
Leader is weak, and I'm missing all my shots.
Oh,
but
there's
good.
Bamboo is right below me. Got him.
There you go, Bamboo down.
nice.
Top right, T-Tech.
I got
there
him.
you go.
I have a vacuum at the ready.
Machine
Bamboo
down.
is
They're
fired
watching
out.
me on right. I'm moving over to left.
Yours is top right currently. I'm behind you guys. T-Tech's top left again.
Mhm.
You're watching.
Wow.
Got
Oh,
T-Tech.
I did a dumb and I went into the
Ah.
tri-strike instead of just vacuuming it up to power my vacuum.
It's all good. It's all good. Behind you, Gem. Careful.
There are two.
Those
Yeah.
added to the cat cam fund with 20.
Thank you,
Oh,
Val.
T-Tech
one on
is-
the ledge. Be careful. They're on the zone
Yeah, yeah.
now.
Hug.
Bamboo's on the right.
You're
and
looking
Leader's
at
on
you.
the left. There's a bucket here too. I'm close to vacuum.
I'm almost to my wave.
Oh, there's a bucket here. I'm not no ink. Thank you very much, whoever got that.
Yours
You're
on
welcome.
is on the little wet ledge.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna come
There's
in.
two. To my
and
ouch, that's
there's
last.
two.
Both on plat.
Mm.
Paint through it. Paint through it. There you go. Good job.
Got one.
Nice. I'm coming around.
Tap Bamboo. There's two there. One dropped left.
Ow.
I'm
Hanging up
watching
over
left.
it.
RNG has failed me. Ledge to the left.
Got
Getting
Bamboo.
rushed.
And our zone. Watch behind you, Gem. There was one there.
Got him.
Leader's
Got one.
watching me. I've got to play safe.
Help me paint.
Yep. Sprinkler.
Got
Oh
machine.
yeah, I have sprinkler.
Leader dropped plat.
Yep. I'm just gonna keep eye zone here.
Tap Bamboo.
Actually, it was
You got
Bamboo.
me,
that
Oh,
dropped.
there's two on the right.
Right in front of you, Gem.
Got two.
Nice.
Nice.
Is it safe to jump?
Ow.
I'm not
You're
gonna do
fine
it.
to
down.
say. You can jump to me.
Okay.
It's just machine.
Can you paint up for you guys?
Gonna go help Gem.
Keep eye on left, Buzzy.
I'm being pushed by machine.
Vacuum.
Very nice.
Good job.
Sure, I'll subscribe on Patreon when I. Thank you guys. Thank you. This is very kind. GG's rats.
Community,
Rat was
best
the
community.
machine in that game.
Oh yes, GG's rat.
GG's.
Oh no, I said vacuum.
Boom.
Believe me, it will be quite the day if anyone hears me swear.
Vacuum. Got a sticker.
And hello, SF.
Ellie.
I love stickers. As you can tell by my locker, which I don't know if you guys have actually seen.
Let me see if I can see it. Do you have
Can't look at lockers.
a? No,
it's how-
I could probably. Oh, do you have the? What's on the front of it, Jamie? Like what hollow stickers?
Hydrant bomb left, stringered bomb right.
Oh yeah, no, yours isn't on mine.
It's also green.
I thought yours was green, but yeah, no.
I just got someone messaging me saying good night and sleep well. They've been doing this every night. It's very nice, but I don't go to sleep until like
Jamie, what
5
side do you
hours
want?
From now.
I was gonna try it right.
Okay, I'll go left. Just because my range is close to yours, I just want to pinch with theirs. Okay,
Yeah.
two on the right, on the left.
No flank right.
Well,
Top
both
one.
buckets are on the ledge.
Oh, I tapped
Pushing
guy
down.
at least.
Got one,
There
I
you
I
go.
got one.
One more left. They're in the bubble.
Ow. Lee donated 10.
Thank you, Lee. Another one for the cat cam donation spam. Thank you. Thank
Oh.
you.
Everyone
Got one?
right now.
Oh my
Ah,
god.
Blob got me. He's weak.
Got one.
He's marked. He's
Blob
marked.
on the right.
Ow.
On their ledge.
On ledge.
Got him.
Nice.
Fucking
Thank you. You
idiot.
gonna jump in?
Yeah, you're
Ran
good.
right into the blob.
Junior coming out top
I
right.
do that way too often. I do...
Huh?
Okay, I'm gonna go look left, Jamie.
Okay,
Just
I'm looking
running
right. I'm
down
looking forward.
into a person
No.
who's actively shooting at you.
Okay, you got it.
Sounds like a big.
Dude, I'm out. Okay.
We even have a name for it. It's called getting pre-fired.
Oh.
Blob down.
Nice. Can you clean up
Another
on
one on
Thank you.
ledge.
I'm down. I'm down. I got stuck
Got
on
him.
it.
There you
There we go.
go.
There was one on the left somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
I've seen
coming
one
around
on
bomb.
the
right.
Yeah.
right.
Machine.
Oh crap. Got Junior. I might die.
Machine
I'm
left. Can you
Oh,
fire
dude,
free?
I need help.
The right on.
I can't shred
I
it.
don't know what it's called.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just paint over it. Gem's going in. Gem's going in.
Good. Got one.
One more on the left side, right in front of you, Gem.
Enemies marked.
There are two on the right, and they are.
I'm not gonna
trying
push
to
it
get
because we just need to get
Oh.
lead or get well,
I'm
too late
down.
now.
Breaker got me.
Jumping out. The
They're
G4
pushing
gem.
me out of left.
Yeah, it's just you.
Halfway to wave.
Oh, I couldn't get the
I'm
squid
close to
roll
back.
out. I would have been fine.
They're going into our spawn from somewhere.
In truth, Buzzy.
I have vacuum. Gonna use.
Ow. Cut shot at a crab.
Ah! Blob is down.
Nice, got him.
Two on the left
Holy-
One
side.
on ledge. Got
Got
one.
one.
Still one on left glass.
Still one right as well. Right plat. They're marked. Right behind the pillow.
So many penalties.
Three of them
Yeah.
out.
Ow.
Uh-oh. I did not mean to come here, but I'm behind them now.
Okay. Where are you pushing right? There's a
I'm
rain in my
on
way.
the-
I'm gonna need
yeah.
a second.
I don't
Yeah.
know what direction this is, but I'm behind them. I got one.
I
We
got
got
down
you.
to wave breaker.
Two. The
Nice.
Wavebreaker got
two
me.
for two. See if we can neutralize. Probably not.
We have crab out.
Oh, we have crab. Go, go, go.
Nice.
Oh,
Focus. Focus left.
Got blob on down.
Yeah, there's the left and the right.
Looking right. Got one.
There you go.
There we go.
I'll paint zone.
Got it.
Oh, you got it. Painting their court.
Got it.
Nice. One on the red machine, I'm one shot. Oh, I got him.
Nice.
Nice. Still, I want to say still left, maybe.
There's one on top right, it's the blob.
Pushing their plat. Junior weak.
I have vacuum.
Backing
Got
up.
him.
Nice.
I'm covered in rain.
Got Junior.
Oh, I thought it was dead there. Three of them is gonna
Getting
be
paid for you,
out.
Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Got one.
I panic special thinking. I
Thank
had,
you.
Like,
Get
ancient or
back.
something.
Watch out. Yeah, there's gonna be a bomb
Just
behind
keep
you.
zone. Just keep zone. Just keep
Yep.
zone.
There
Nice.
you go. You know, that was a good fact, Debbie. I was able to get two because of you.
Yeah, I was
How
like,
did-
okay, you're right behind me charging. I am going to give you free fire for this.
Yeah.
How did they throw a bomb after the time went?
If they throw it at like literally 0.5 of a second left, it'll still register.
Yeah,
Overall splatter.
it'll still explode.
Because it was right on
Okay.
my face. There was one right on my face.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, Mystic. GG's. That was a lot of fun yesterday. I died once.
Good job.
I
I am
died
still figuring
8
out this
times
weapon,
and
so
killed 2 people. I'm
I'm glad
liability.
I'm glad I get to do my learning in Squid School League.
Yee, same.
I am
And
definitely
that'll-
playing this like a backline, but I'm
that'll
trying to
be
get
it.
used to the
Hit stop.
RNG.
Because
Oh.
we're going for VOD reviews now.
Well, we
Yeah.
all hit continues. Squid School, sleep mode, activate.
Mode.
Look, we can fall asleep in class, guys!
Let's go!
I mean, as long as you keep the
Oh,
stream on,
shoot.
technically I still get paid, but
Oh, phew.
This is true.
Me.
see, one of the nice things about being a squid teacher is that you guys' grades don't actually reflect on my performance review or anything like that.
Not with that attitude.
Oh, shoot. Me.
What does that even mean? Anyway,
I don't know.
so
It's something Taryn always says.
So, Buzzy, do you want me to use the replay code that you sent? Was that the one?
Sure.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Okay, well, have fun. I will be doing chat things afterwards. Ciao.
Sounds good.
I also think it'd be best to stream it to Discord.
Yes, that I definitely will do in a second. I just need to get the actual code in.
I'm gonna get stuff. I got a sticker. Now I can add it to my locker.
I don't know how I just like decided not to put in 2 of the letters here.
There's no stickers on my locker actually. I forgot I got rid of all of them because I had too many at this point. Huh.
All right, and there it is.
Did you know that you can attach a USB keyboard to type codes? You can attach a USB keyboard to type anything. It's like on the frickin' GameCube. Type many things. You can type nicknames for your Pokemon. Fit too.
Okay, so Buzzy, you should be able to see it now. And I don't know if I've actually swapped the stream. Yes, I have swapped the stream over. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Gem, what species of squid are you? Inkling,
Ben.
specifically.
Ben. Meh.
What? What? Oh, you're reading. I got it. All right. So we're looking at. You guys have double crab. You've got the meta comp, except for you've got a Tentabrella too, so maybe not. But hey, at least you've got crabs. And so with these double crabs, what you're looking to try and do is you're looking to stagger the crabs. So a crab goes down and controls a whole bunch of space in the middle of the map for about 10 seconds, and then you pop a second crab and it just does the same thing for another 10 seconds, and the opposing team hates life.
I should also mention this is a B- lobby, so the other people in this game aren't gonna be very good either.
And that's fine, because you can still absolutely do that. You can just be like, all right, I'm going to see if my teammate's going to pop the crab. If they're not going to pop it in the next few seconds, well, okay, then I'll pop mine first. But if you see that your teammate is using it, then you can just get to a strong position to use it from and use it yourself after theirs is done, and it will have kind of double the impact that way. So I'm always looking for these kinds of like solo queue coordination types of plays that I can make, where even though we aren't able to communicate with each other, we can kind of execute on a plan, because it's only really me that needs to know what to do to be able to do that. 20 seconds of crabs, yes. I love how 2 separate people spammed the crab emote right after I said that. So Skog goes in, and Skog Vetter comes in with 5 crabs, and then Dupo comes in with 4 crabs. Like, that's exactly the idea. That's how you do it, guys. Way to go, chat. Anyway, so yes, while being a lower level lobby, you can't necessarily know that your team knows that that's the idea. You can play that idea out anyway. It's just like how Clan Blitz works. Everyone talks about how Clan Blitz requires a lot of coordination, but you can still execute on the game plan that you would use in Clan Blitz in a coordinated team with your teammates there. Like, all you got to do is have enough clams to throw some at the person who is the most, and then they have a power clam, and they know what to do with a power clam. They just walk forward and throw it in. And then from there, like, if your teammates are going to throw the clams in, then you know to wait on yours so that you can stall the basket for longer and protect them.
This isn't
and I know it's not clams. I'm talking about coordination in general in solo queue. There are a lot of things you can do to create coordination.
I turned me up. Is this better, chat?
Turn Buzzy up. Okay. I didn't notice a huge difference, so I might have to turn Buzzy up myself. Okay. That might be a little bit better.
I can just simply try to speak louder.
Um,
Usually I'd be like the loudest in the room, but I am not. My throat isn't good.
All right. We've got Buzzy turned up a little bit, so that should help. Anyway, the only point that I was trying to get across there was that it is totally possible to create coordination even in environments where you can't talk to each other. Like, just because you can't say words doesn't mean that there's no teamwork, that you can't look at the situation and say, this is what my teammate needs me to do, and do that thing. So I wouldn't just disregard playing around your teammates at all. In fact, in solo queue, that's even more important, to kind of develop that sense of how to be able to do that even without being told what to do. In coordinated play, once you're really used to it, you can just be like listening to call-outs and be like, okay, this is what we need to do, and I'll just follow what my shot caller tells me. But in solo queue, you kind of need to be looking and using your own situational awareness to come up with what teamwork needs to happen on the spot. So if anything, you're more active in looking for what you should be doing for your team in solo queue than you are in a coordinated environment. Okay, so let's get started here. The team...
Probably have to rewatch this. ADHD.
Oh, is it not super high quality?
No, it said I can't like take in all of the information at one time,
Oh,
so I'll
okay.
have to rewatch.
Gotcha, that's fair. And you will have the ability to do that because it'll just be recorded for you. So. All right. So looking at this, your team has 2 midline weapons and 2 frontline weapons. So you're one of the frontline weapons, and then you've got the tent and the rapid. You'll probably want to play this kind of slow because the midline weapons aren't going to move in super fast, but once they do get there, they're a huge pain in the butt and very difficult to deal with. So you can wait for the tent to engage, you can wait for the rapid to put someone out of position and then kind of dive on someone, or you could just wait until you get crab and use the crab to create an opening for yourself. The other team has an undercover umbrella, which is going to be trying to like position a little bit further forward and like get you to take fights with it. It's got a roller, which means you're going to want to paint really, really carefully so that you're not getting ambushed. And then there's the dually squelchers, which you have to be careful about being outranged by, and the splatter shot, which is about it's a very similar weapon to yours, so you're gonna be able to just kind of play around that the way that you would, another splat dualies, let's say. So moving on forward, dodge rolling as you move is actually going to be slower than just swimming. So if you're gonna dodge roll, it's to maybe move across ink that isn't painted, or to initiate combat. Those are the major reasons.
Out beforehand.
Sorry, you what?
Figured that out beforehand.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so the Rapid is doing a really good job of keeping everybody back. I really like what they're doing there. And they're able to get a pick off of that. We just saw the roller on the left side of our screen. They were firing a flick through the left-hand side. So we know that they're coming in that direction. We could choose to deal with them here because we know where they are. We have high ground over them. We can kind of back away if we need to. We could also just push forward and take the fight that's in front of us and deal with that roller after they come around the left side. It's kind of our decision what we want to do there. So it looks like you're expecting them to be in front of you, and in fact they're behind you. Let's take a look at that engagement real quick. So they come through here. So if they're right here... Well, and this, of course, is very fast, decision-making that we have to make. But if they're right here, let's think about, like, where it is they're going to want to go, right? Because for a roller, they don't have a ton of range. They might try to shark under this ledge and try to hit up over the top of it. That's a thing rollers are pretty good at doing. But they're unlikely to want to stay down here in most cases because they're at low ground, so they can't see too much. And they also... most weapons can't hit too much from there, and you're going to be able to see them and shoot at them easier than they're going to be able to see you and shoot at you. So usually they want to actually come all the way around and get behind your team here, So they're more likely to want to keep moving forward and actually, like, get behind you here. And you can see they, I think what fools you is that they don't paint their way. We can see for a split second here that they're actually in squid form right behind you. So they got to this ink here, and then they just started squidding forward. And so you see,
like
oh,
my
the ink
character
hasn't...
was having in that freeze frame.
So you paint up this area thinking, oh, well, the paint hasn't gone that far, so they must not be that far. But you can see that they're not painting very much. A lot of the time, stealthier weapons like this will just decide to, like, go squid form so that they don't leave that visual indicator that they're here. And then there's the roller out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, oh, well, they're on top of me now. But what you'd probably want to do before diving in on them is just get information about where they are right now. Because from here, they can't see you super easily until you drop off the ledge like this. You're just submerged in the ink. So what you could do, knowing that they're coming, is like use the third-person camera while they haven't seen you yet, and try and figure out, okay, they're coming from here, and line up your roll. And then as soon as you actually do the rolling dodge, they'll be in your line of sight, and you'll be able to win that fight right away. So they did a good job of tricking you there. Your teammate's able to follow that up and trade back, so you're in good shape still. Unfortunately, your teammate ends up going down there. I'm worried about this jump a little bit. Okay, you do make it because you had two teammates in front of you, so it ends up being safe. It was just
frozen.
What's frozen? Oh. Be right back.
Green reveal.
Oh my god. There it is. What? You mean Gem doesn't actually inhabit the Splatsville and the locales surrounding? He is not currently in Buzzyco's match as a human being?
Moment.
Shattering my immersion, Gem. My goodness. Do you mean to imply that squids aren't real?
What?
Anyway, so
We've all been living a lie.
From this position,
I wish humans were real.
Isn't secretly the only surviving human in Splatoon? Conspiratorial. It's like the moon landing, you know? The government doesn't want us to know. Anyway.
Of course Gem is in Splatsville right now. Anyway, can just continue.
The jump is definitely close to not safe, so I would be cautious about it. But you did have two teammates in front of you, and that's what makes this a little bit better. So we're able to stay alive. Tent shield is coming in. In general, with tent shields, just be careful that people don't throw bombs off them at you. It's less of a concern in this game for a couple of reasons. One, that nobody picks Tent Umbrella, and two, that there are fewer weapons with lethal bombs that are in the meta. It's not as crucial to have them. Not as possible to have them, really. I mean, people would definitely prefer them if they could get them on the good weapons, but just watch out. In case like a tent player ends up launching a shield near you, you don't want to be too close, because if that CDS ends up throwing, VDS throws a random splat bomb at it, that might just splat you off the shield. Nice. Yeah, they have no business getting on the tower there. You against oh nice, you get the trade. Cool. Against a roller on tower, you usually just want to use your range, because they had the roller down, and so they were just trying to like squish you. If you roll off the tower and just fire up at them, they have to stop rolling and then flick, which is going to take a lot longer than them just running over you. So That's usually what I would try to do, but you end up getting the trade anyway. It's a 3v1 situation. Your team definitely wins this, and you're going to be able to start pushing the tower, which is awesome. Nice, and that was a good use of the crab tank to try and keep the tower safe. Right now, you probably want to be helping out on the right as much as you can. Okay, I like the crab. There's still one over there. And this illustrates one weakness of the crab tank, which is that it needs to have a big open sight line to be able to do stuff. Before the tower pushes over here, you had a great angle on it, but as soon as the tower came up the wall, it was blocking all of your, blocking all of your shots. So that's something to think about where, depending on where you position yourself with the crab, you're going to get more or less value depending on whether there's stuff that's in your way that's blocking your shots. I think earlier on, while the tower was under attack, if you engage a little bit more aggressively with your teammate, you might have been able to get a little bit more done and potentially protect it. So I'm going to back up just a second to show you where I think this could have happened. So right here, we see that there is the... let's see, just double checking to see if my mouse shows up. Okay, it doesn't show up. Cool. So the roller in front of you that you're shooting at is one player, and then there's also the undercover umbrella. And right now, you're shooting at the roller, but they still have access to the tower. You want to try, whenever you can, to be blocking them from even getting to the tower in the first place. It's ideal to have, like, that whole area around the tower where someone can attack the tower from to be a zone where if the enemy walks in, they're immediately getting shot at. And from here, 2 players get into that zone right by the tower, and we actually end up backing up instead of going to defend it. Because those players are turning their backs to you. So if you just like were to roll in and attack the undercover, you would have their backs. So I think that would be a good time to have gone in. But the crab is great.
Usually when I try to do that, I just die. So...
You want to make sure that you're positioning carefully and going on a player who's not looking at you, but like you can tell that those players aren't looking at you from there, so that would be an idea.
I couldn't.
Something from here that you could do to be to keep yourself from getting in the situation where the crab tank is blocked by the tower is you could go ball form and jump onto the tower from here as it's coming up to you, and then if the roller tries to like squish you, you just bump into them in ball form, and they can't do anything about it because you're both gonna hit each other. So you might just like bump off. I don't know exactly how that interaction goes, and it would be very funny, and I kind of want to see it. But overall, like you're defending the tower, you're like at the right place on the map. You get a couple of picks. This is really good. So now we've got to keep the undercover umbrella off the tower, which you're doing a good job of doing. And now we're starting to push forward. I like that we're starting to push forward, too. We want to put as much space in between the enemy team and the tower as we can so that it's difficult or impossible for them to reach it. That trade is fine. You guys are still on the tower, and you're taking someone out of the game. And we still score quite a bit more as that's happening. I also like that you don't jump onto the tower. You jump instead to a teammate who's further back, because this will make you safer. Right at that moment, you knew that there was someone who was attacking the tower, that the tower rider was the furthest player forward, the first player that the enemy team was going to see. So you do a good job of jumping instead to the person who's not drawing aggro, but the person who's like further back behind the tower, who is definitely going to be safer here. And from here, you might actually stand a chance of like keeping the tower for your team. Good job staying out of danger. You knew you had teammates there with you, so you didn't have to take those fights yourself. You just backed up, and the opponent's shots missed, and they went down. So that was really good. And now we're trying to work on getting this player out from underneath. And there are some times here and there where maybe we're missing shots, maybe we're taking shots from a position where we're hitting cover, or where we're out of range to hit them. But what I like, despite that all of that is happening, is that you're using the rolls to keep yourself safe here, and making it so that ultimately you're able to stay in the match and you're able to get your shots on eventually. Do you ever play the dually squelchers?
Sometimes.
Because the way that you're playing the splat dualies here is actually very common to see on the dually squelchers, where you're steadily rolling backwards and using that to try and like kite people or get out of dangerous positions. Rolling backwards in general is going to be stronger on the dually squelchers than on the splat dualies, because the dually squelchers have really long range. So you can roll backwards, put distance between you and your opponent, and still be able to hit them instead of just rolling out of range and having to go back in.
That makes sense.
So with the splat dualies, you're more likely to see someone roll in or roll a lot of the time sideways as well to try and throw opponents' aim off. It makes it a little bit more technical. It makes it a little bit more precise, because you only have the window of those couple of rolls to get your shots on before you're going to be frozen, before you're going to be a sitting duck. But that is often how these are played. They're often played as a weapon that dives into enemy ink, as a weapon that goes in really, really aggressively. There's a couple players on the left, and there's someone else jumping in that we saw. Nice, and this is great positioning. They didn't see you coming. Good job not trying to challenge that. And yeah, I like the idea to try and keep yourself safe. Unfortunately, the roller can slosh up over the top of the crab armor, but like a lot of players would have tried to get up on the tower there and just gotten squished right away. And you recognized the danger and you backed up and you tried to do something to deal with it. So I like that thinking there. There's someone behind the tower right now. We just saw some shots being fired from behind it. Thank you so much for the super chat, Super ML. Really enjoy your content. Keep it up, man. Aw, thanks. That's super kind of you. I appreciate you. All right. So crab tank going in. I think with this crab tank, we get a little bit tunneled on one player, and once that player gets away, we don't like recognize it and like look for other more immediate threats. So like right now, we're looking at this one player that we tagged with the Explo shot, who was down to a little bit to the right of where you're aiming now, and then they go up the switchback here. But in the meantime, there's a fight on the left that happens. Unfortunately, it's an opponent that goes down and not you. But also the tower is coming up with an opponent riding it, and this puts you in a position where you're really close to it and you're not going to be able to hit shots. And so whenever you end up in a place where you're not super safe, a good idea would be to go into ball form and roll away. It just so happens here that your crab just runs out already, and you end up being like, oh wait, I am throwing a bomb and not firing an Explo shot. So tower sneaks up on you just a little bit there. So they are up 3 players to 2 for the time being. Ooh, that's an interesting jump. I like that. I probably wouldn't throw that bomb. Reason being, you don't want your opponents to know that you're here yet. Like, you want this to be a sneaky thing that's happening where they're like, wait, they're behind us? What? And the bomb is something that like has an audio cue. It shows a direction that it came from when you're looking at it. And it makes it so that they'll know that you're coming if they notice that bomb. Now, you do happen to have teammates who are also shooting from this direction, so it's not the end of the world either. But because you weren't in range yet, I think the time that you were spending throwing the bomb would have been better spent just like closing the distance and getting to the tower. Good fight that you take here. I like that you, again, are like making sure to use the rolls to keep yourself safe. Let's watch that over again. The rolls here actually that you use to move forward, like I talked about, you know, they're going to be slower, and so rather than like getting yourself stuck here, probably just want to keep swimming. And then the other advantage of saving the rolls is, besides just going faster, you're going to have the rolls available so that if someone shows up right in front of you and you have to all of a sudden be like, oh crap, someone's here, you're going to have the ability to roll from there instead of rolling forward twice and then realizing that someone's there and that you don't have any more rolls. Yep, good job recognizing you needed to get out of there and disengaging. Nice, and that's both of those players down, and we can just start sending this back into mid. I think there was still someone back in your base. Yep, 2 people, actually. So that should be enough to take out the roller. It is. But the way that I saw that was as you were turning around on the tower, we saw... Oh, I need to back up further. As you were turning around on the tower, I saw someone that was still in there and a lot of purple ink. Okay, so we win this fight with the help of our teammate. And we help our teammate win that fight. And then we're seeing splashing in the upper right-hand corner, and from here you can actually see the player briefly. So there is still already someone in our base. And that's something to check just to make sure that, like, okay, is the area behind us clear? Like, can I safely focus forward right now, or do I need to clean something up behind me first? And because we face forward here, we don't actually notice those players showing up until... Oh, they're right here on the tower with me. But you do a bunch of damage to the roller, which helps your teammates clean that up. So, for how much information you had, you did a good job of responding to it. From this position here, we're out of range of all 3 of these players. So what you'll start seeing people do at higher levels, if you're in this kind of position, is they'll just, like, stay on the tower and wait for you to come to them. Like, as the team that is defending against the tower push, we're the ones who kind of have to make the first move. Because if we just, like, stay there, the enemy team is just going to stand on the tower and, like, push and score more points. And I find that you're doing a lot of playing from about this range where you're dodging to out of range for you to be able to hit them. And against weapons that are, like, mid-range, this can work where you just back out and then choose your time to go back in. But against a weapon that outranges you, you're going to end up putting yourself in a position where they can hit you while you can't hit them. So, for example, against the dually squelchers on the other team, from this range, they can hit you, so they can just stand on the tower and shoot at you, and you wouldn't be able to do anything from this range that you're at. And that's another one of the reasons where I'm thinking, like,
There's
hey,
a weird line on me.
A weird line on you?
Yeah.
That looks like it's... Maybe a little blip in the replay system or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that dually squelchers would actually be a really good fit for the positioning that I'm seeing here, because they can hit someone from that range, and dodge rolling backwards is a really good idea for how to use those weapons. So that might be something to consider, and it would still give you a bomb. It would still give you a really useful special. Like, I think there's a lot of good about that that weapon. Okay, so there's someone out there in front of you. I would say that the way that you get out of that one is just you recognize that you're missing shots and move a little bit sooner. We don't really have to stay on the tower. Like, we've got a lead and there's only a minute left, so it's more on them to push than it is on us to push. If, you know, getting off the tower helps you stay alive, then that's more important than keeping the tower going for another few points. So as soon as you see the roller showing up, just, you know, do what you've got to do to keep yourself alive. And if you're missing shots, then maybe dodge roll, you know, get behind cover, something like that, just to throw their aim off. teammate is able to do a good job of cleaning up, though, from behind you. Good job to the Rapid Blaster. And you guys get to the tower, and you're setting up a good defensive perimeter around it. Nice. Nice job. Beautiful. And there's the wipe, and good job recognizing no one was on tower. A lot of players would have just let the tower go back and been like, oh, wait, nobody's on it right now. But you knew right away that that player had been taken out, so good awareness. Nice. I like that you get the expo shot in there to finish it off. Yes, the roller gets you, but they're the only player left, and your team can definitely handle that. There it is. 1-for-1 trade. You guys have tower still. You jump back in. This is looking like an already won game, but it's not quite over yet. We do need to stop their push right now, and we do get that fight win. Awesome. We just need to prevent them from getting on tower, and we do. So, overall, good job. I think most of the things that are leading to you, like, being splatted are mechanical. There's not a ton in the, like, decision-making departments that we're missing here. We're going to about the right place during a tower push to kind of defend against it. I'm hearing a lot of static. Are you hearing that too, Buzzy?
Static?
Okay, it stopped as soon as you said something. That was interesting.
Weird.
But the decision making is generally there, like you're in the right places on the maps at the right time. You may want to be doing a little bit more to wedge yourself in between the tower and the enemy players when you're pushing, but I would say that's more of a more of a thing where you're playing more to protect yourself than to push the objective. You're like playing more passively than this like very aggressive weapon tends to play. And so I think it plays into that more than it plays into like your macro decision making or anything like that. And like there were some times where, you know, maybe we're missing shots for a little while, or we're not dodge rolling to get ourselves to safety. We're like kind of rolling more towards the opponents sometimes than side to side or something like that. But like again, most of this is like mechanical and will improve over time with practice. I think the biggest thing was just making sure that you're playing within your own range, making sure that like when you dodge roll, that dodge roll is either getting you out of danger immediately or getting you in range to hit someone. If you're not doing one of those two things, then you probably want to be avoiding dodge rolling so that you're not locking yourself in place after the dodge rolls are done and potentially leaving yourself open to being punished for doing them. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't know.
Well, if you ever come up with any, feel free to ask. You know where to find me. And thank you so much for submitting the footage and for modding and stuff. That's the buzzing someone says. Ha. It's the buzzy buzz. All right. Well,
my name is Buzz for a reason, I guess.
Awesome. So, thank you, Buzzy. And
would you like another one?
I was gonna go actually into some Q&A. Let me take a look at the time here. We could probably. Is there like another weapon that you want input on or something like that?
Perhaps.
If there's another weapon you'd like me to look at, we can probably take a quick look at that. And then maybe go into some Q&A afterwards. I did promise Q&A, so that has to happen, but...
I have not looked at it, the thing, but I will give it to you anyway.
Lucas Savage, the question, are you good? Like, are you good at the game? Is a question that I think is thoroughly wrong, that does not give you any helpful information. I have a whole video on that subject. So if you, to answer the question, like, do you consider yourself to be good? I guess I could say technically the answer is no, because I don't ask that question of myself. I can tell you that I am a competitive player with thousands of hours in the game. I can tell you that I am a Division 4 in Ludi. So that's something that the competitive community would consider mid-level. I can tell you that I have in Splatoon 2, I had a 2400 X power peak. Haven't really grinded that very much in Splatoon 3, so I don't think it's especially representative right now, but hopefully that'll give you some more useful milestones, I think, for kind of determining what my skill level is.
Is stuck at B+, quote unquote, good. That's
Could
the
be.
answer.
Some people would say so. But let me know when you've got your other code. Oh, actually, it looks like you've just DM'd me.
Send it to you, yes.
All right, so let's get that put in.
I don't think I was used to my new controller at the time as well, so my shots might not be very good. Like, accurate, I mean. I have not looked at this at all.
All right, let's have a look. So, playing Forge Pro.
I think it was like 2017 was my ratio. That's a lot of fighting.
All right. So this weapon has a little bit more range than the Splat Dualies do. So you can take a slightly less advanced position than you would take with those dualies. I like your positioning there. You're keeping yourself out of their range while putting them in your range. From here, when the tower gets cleared... So your teammate went down, then another player went down, and then your teammate gets 1-for-1. So it's a 2v2 situation right now, like neither side has that much of an advantage. And against these weapons, like it's... there's a fling's a roller, but then every other weapon on the enemy team is shorter range than you. So whenever possible, you want to be keeping your range. You want to be like keeping your distance from them so that you can hit them before they can hit you. When you get on tower like this, they're able to use the wall of the tower to get close to you. And that puts you in their range. And with both of these weapons, they're going to splat faster than you when they get on top of you. So you always want to be keeping yourself far enough away from them that they can't hit you in order to be able to win fights against them. In that situation, being 2v2, you don't want to expect that your team is going to be able to push the tower yet, because the tower puts you at a disadvantage if you're riding it. So since the numbers were even normally, getting up on the tower means that you've gone from being in an even situation to being at a disadvantage, and they should probably stop you pretty quickly. So that's the thinking on when to get on tower. Like, you get on tower when you have an advantage, so that even though you're weakening yourself by being on tower and everyone knowing where you are, you're still strong.
Arms are broken.
You're still strong enough to... You're still strong enough in that situation to be able to hold them back from it. So I like that you're taking this fight. This is a good fight to take. And then you spot that player as well, and you're able to get them. And now we're going to wait and get their jump as well. Awesome. This is something... Go ahead.
Stayed back instead of moving forward, maybe?
Against the Tri-Slosher, once you realized they were there, it would have been good to stay a little bit further away. And that would have kept you safer, but you get them regardless. So, like, you get this player here, and right here is where you notice them. And so from here, you know, This is actually not the worst because this player is looking away from you. But if this player were looking at you, you would need to swim backwards a little bit to keep yourself safe from them. But it's fine because you end up getting them. With this player here that's jumping in, the stronger you get, the more it's going to be a good idea to actually put a bomb on this instead of shooting at it. Now, that's hard to time, especially with a suction bomb, so that's going to take a lot of practice. But what I like to do to practice it is whenever I get a situation like this where it's just a really obvious jump that I'm going to be camping, is I try to time the bomb, but then shoot them anyway in case the bomb doesn't explode at the right time. And that's a great way to practice learning how to do that. So I would try that out right now. Nice.
Me and my teammate are both shooting at them though, so.
Right, like they're probably not getting away, but the thing that beats is drop roller. Because if someone has drop roller as they're coming down, they will actually dodge out of your shots before you're able to do enough damage to splat them. Whereas if you throw a bomb on that spot, even before they land, they're going to be completely splatted. So they won't even have time to do the rolling part.
I've just shot at them instead of throwing the bomb, I think. Throw bombs to prepare to go in, and it's not something that's always needed.
Well, there are a couple of advantages to throwing the bomb. First of all, throwing the bomb, like I said, is more guaranteed. Like, even if someone has drop roller, you're definitely going to get the damage off in time. Whereas with slower weapons, like, even if you have your aim on perfectly, a lot of the time they can actually move fast enough to get out of your line of fire before you do enough damage to take them out. So in situations like that, the bomb is the only sure way to do it. And then the other reason is that if you put the bomb there and you're really confident that you've got the timing right, you can just like go and do something else.
I don't mean against the jump. I mean like, and there's someone there. I could just shoot at them, but I end up throwing a bomb instead, and it doesn't even work.
Gotcha.
And it uses
Yeah,
up
like
most of my ink. And
there
then I
are
run out of
definitely
ink, and then I die.
Yeah, there are definitely some situations where throwing the bomb is like way more ink than it's worth, but in this particular situation, yeah, throwing the bomb, like, the other thing that's cool about it is that sometimes you can go and do other things while the bomb is exploding.
I mean, like, not against the person who was jumping, like, a bit after that.
Let's see. So this person jumps.
There's a person right up there that I could
okay, I
shoot
see.
at, but I throw a bomb at them instead.
Yes, that I completely agree with. There, you could just, like, especially since they're not looking at you, whenever someone's not looking at you, whenever they're, like, attacking your teammate instead, that just gives you all the time that you need to swim into range of them, get your aim on, and then start shooting at them. Because anything else that you do, if you fire shots before you have your aim on, if you throw a bomb at them, that alerts this player that you're here. So, like, now this flings a roller knows you're here because
now they're looking at me.
Yeah, because the bomb landed next to them. So, yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
One last thing that I would say with the play after you get the jump before we get to that fight in mid is that you've got like this curling bomb right here that gets thrown out there, and you take the time to paint all of that. I don't think that's the most important thing because we know that we've cleared all of those players out. Like the Sploosh-O-Matic on their team is the only player that has a curling bomb, and you can see at the top of your screen that they've already been splatted. So that curling bomb, sure, it painted a little bit, but the tower's not even there anymore. So right now what's more of a concern is what's happening around the tower. So I'd be focusing on that instead. For example, if we were moving up with the tower, we would have seen that flings a roller and already been in range of them and been able to shoot them a lot earlier. There was a... I thought there was a question in chat.
And my ink is really low. Oh, yeah.
So you need to be off the tower to get an advantage to win in a fight. Yes, so Gamer 1289 Twitch is what I'm assuming that is. Being on the tower shows the enemy team where you are. Like, they can see on the heads-up display that someone on the enemy team is riding the tower, and that's a tiny little patch of ground where they know that you must be hiding somewhere, and it makes it very easy for them to spot you. All that it takes to splat you in that situation is to throw a bomb on one side of the tower and paint the other, or to have one player shoot either side of the tower.
If they throw a suction bomb and they hit the stick, they know that you're like in that one little bit that the bomb can't hit from that side, so they can just shoot at that.
And it's definitely possible to land other kinds of bombs on the tower too. That one's easy, but you could even, lob a splat bomb up there, an auto bomb, like all sorts of things that will all reveal that the enemy player has to be on the other half of the tower somewhere, and you just have to shoot at that. So being on tower is a disadvantage, and if you try in a 4v4 to just jump on the tower right away, what's very likely to happen is you just immediately get splatted for doing that, and then your team is now in a 4v3. And since they're in a 4v3, the enemy team can take the tower because they still have 3 players to defend the tower against your 3 players. And that one player who's at a disadvantage because they're on the tower, it's not as big of a deal that they're at a disadvantage because the rest of their team can back them up, and they're not really going to lose a fight for that. One other thing that I haven't talked about in terms of the advantage there is that you need people specifically in position to defend the tower rider. So even if you have 4 players up, but like 3 of them are back in your spawn and then the other one's trying to get on tower, that's still not going to work because those 3 players aren't there to defend them. And so a lot of the time, if you just rush to try and get on the tower right away, since there's nobody else in front of you during that match, since there's nobody getting between you and the enemy team, you're going to get splatted even if you have everyone up to be able to defend you. So for all of those reasons, definitely do not get on the tower right at the beginning of the match. Wait until the advantage state shifts in your team's favor. Fight off the tower, and then get on the tower once you have enough of an advantage to really be able to say, yeah, it's safe to push this now. All right. So, I like this Booyah Bomb. This is going to break the enemy team up. You can see that there are multiple players you're throwing it into. So some of them are going to get shoved to the far right. Some of them are going to get shoved to the far left. And all you have to do is pick one of those sides and shoot in front of them and be like, haha, you can't leave, you get blown up. So nice, you get one of them on the right, which is perfect. And now you know that there are a couple on the left because that was the only place that they could safely be. Unfortunately, we don't turn to look at those quite quickly enough, and so they're able to get us off the tower here. So we get that one there, and then Booyah Bomb. So we can actually see all 4 players in front of us right now. We throw that here, and you can see on the left side of the screen right now, you know there's someone coming from the left. And that's the player who ends up getting you here. They're the only one left. So instead of running onto the tower where you already have teammates anyway, I would focus on just getting that one player or like keeping them away from the tower because they're the only thing that's left that can do anything about you. So just like worry about taking that fight because having 3 players on tower is actually a pretty big disadvantage. I explained this in my video, what am I doing for part 2 for tower control. With tower control, if you don't have people out in front of the tower, like making a perimeter around it that's safe, anyone can just walk right up to the tower and be shooting at the tower. And with this many people on the tower, you're very likely to be able to hit somebody as soon as you shoot at it. So from here, all they have to do is walk up to the tower, and they're going to get 2. They get 3, actually. And that's just because we're piling too many people on the tower at the same time.
They removed the feature in Splatoon 2 that tower moves faster with more players on it. Catter patches.
So that you're misrepresenting that a little bit because that only happens at checkpoints. The tower always has moved the same speed between checkpoints, and it is only the checkpoints themselves that clear faster when you have multiple players on. I would say that most of the time, it's not actually worth it to have multiple players on the tower anyway, for the reason that I've described, that it becomes harder to defend the tower when everyone's in the same place on the tower. But if you're going to do that, I would say it's probably something that you only have one extra person on for. And even then, that's when you have a pretty significant advantage, and the two frontliners that are ahead of it are doing well enough by themselves. Okay. I missed what was happening there. I need to back up for just a sec.
I jumped and then jumped onto the tower and I put a bomb down and it killed 2 people. But I died as well.
I would generally say that that's that the jump isn't safe. The bomb was awesome, and like if once you're in that situation, like that's all you can do. So throw that bomb for sure. One of the nice things
Now
about
we're
that
at a
bomb
little
is that
tiny advantage.
yeah, one of the nice things that happened there was that since you put the bomb on the grates specifically, it hit down through the grate, so it hit below the top of the tower, and that was what.
Hold on. Everything broke. Hold on.
Are you able to hear?
Hold on.
Well, we'll hold there for just a second. Optimistic point sensor user. That's actually fantastic. I love that. This point sensor will do something, right? My team will help me out. Oh dear. I'll just wait for verbal confirmation from Buzz that they're back. Because I didn't hear anything going out on my end. Like, it seemed like they were going to be able to still hear me just fine. They're muted currently. Okay. Internet connection's going out for Buzzy at the moment. You'll love to see it. Here, while we're at it, I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna pull up sendo.inc/plans really quickly and explain this more thoroughly, because a lot of people are giving like good reasons you don't want to put everyone up on the tower, but none of the reasons that are being given are the most important reason that you don't want everyone up on the tower. So I want to explain that.
Hello?
Hello. I'm gonna really
It's
quick.
working.
Yeah, I can hear you. Glad that you're able to make it back, and we'll get back into what I was talking about in just a second. But in the meantime, I'm going to answer a quick question about why it's not great to have multiple people on tower, because Chad has been asking about it. Let's say that tower is right here, and you've got one person on it. And then what the other 3 people are doing is they're up in front of the tower. And what I like to do is draw kind of a semicircle around these players to show what space they control. So the idea is, with this arc, if an opponent enters into this arc relative to this player, then they are getting shot at right away. And they're being blocked from going anywhere, and they're probably going to go down if they just wander into it carelessly. And so, if we do this and have the arcs look like this is much better protection for the tower than, let's say, we're the other team here, we're going the other way, but doing the same kind of thing. If we put 3 players on the tower, then all of their arcs are right here. And what can happen is a player can walk all the way straight up to the tower and already be shooting at them, before they're being stopped. So from this position on the right, if a player gets even this far, they're already being stopped, and they're nowhere near close enough to the tower to be able to shoot it. So this is going to keep the Tower Rider completely safe. The Tower Rider is not entering in a 1v1 with anyone, because that player is just being buffered from ever getting to the tower in the first place. Whereas on this side, with everybody stacked on top of each other, a player can just walk right up and be taking those shots and be hitting people right away, because this one player who did push up might not actually be able to stop them from sneaking into that position and getting straight to the tower. So what's really important is that you have this perimeter defense that's being made around the tower, and that's something that you just can't do when everybody's on it. So hopefully that explains that a little bit more thoroughly. So back to Buzzy. So we were talking about this bomb that we placed on the side of the tower here. One advantage of this bomb, one really nice thing about its placement, was that you put it on the grates, and so it's going to hit down past the side of the tower. It's not just going to explode on like the top of it. It's actually going to hit someone who's swimming up to the tower from below, which is really great, and that's how you get one of these picks. And another nice thing about it is that it keeps people off the tower. But in general, if you're going to jump into somewhere and it's not going to be safe, the jump probably shouldn't have happened in the first place, because this bomb, while it works here and like there's no reason not to do it if you know that you're going to go down, like just always throw this bomb, it doesn't have to work. It's something that your opponents need to like not notice and run themselves into, and they'll do that less and less. Okay, good. I realized that Buzzy was muted, and I was worried all of a sudden that they weren't able to hear. But the more skilled players get, the less likely they are to just blunder into this bomb, and so the less likely this is to work. So definitely, don't get in the habit of making unsafe jumps and just trying to put the bomb there. Don't have that be the strategy. You do this as a, well, I messed up, but this is the best I can get out of it sort of a situation. So we'll keep going. All right, teammates save our lives there. Again, I would say that was another jump that probably wasn't super safe, though part of the reason for that is, like we mentioned, our teammates are doubling up on the tower, which means that there are just fewer people forward to defend the tower. Typically, if the team is playing it well, jumping to the tower is actually one of the safest places to go, unless you're completely falling apart, because you're going to have people out in front of the tower defending it from people ever getting there in the first place. But of course, if the tower is under attack, if your opponents are pressing forward and putting your teammates under duress, then obviously maybe the tower isn't the best place, and you want to jump to someone further back or not jump at all. I like that you're trying to get a different angle on that player, that you're like seeing what angle your teammate can shoot at them from, and you're going to try and find a different one so that they can't just hide behind the same piece of cover and block both of your shots. It takes a second for you to find that angle, but you do find it, and you do get that player down, and now you're in really good shape because you've got an advantage, and you're able to trade that player back, and the rest of your team is going to be able to jump in. You can now Booyah Bomb to keep the tower safe. Lots of good stuff happening here. I love that Booyah Bomb placement. I might have put it slightly further into the enemy bats, like just maybe throw it at the wall in front of you instead of throwing it right at your feet, since that way it'll extend further out. But like that is exactly the kind of idea. You want to protect the push. And it's just unfortunate that we're not quite able to stay alive as a team to get there. But I think you had all of the right ideas there. And it looks like, again, you have that impulse to throw the bomb at your feet as soon as you land with the super jump. So just to be aware that you have that habit, because throwing bombs costs a lot of ink, and if you are going to survive, you might not want to use that. And if, for example, that you were throwing it into a tri-strike is going to eat that bomb, so it's not even going to do anything. So it looks like we run for the tower here, and at this point the tower is not going to be defended So getting on it is a little bit risky. Instead of swimming all the way up, you actually have pretty clear shots on the player who's on tower here. Let me show that as soon as you get jumped in. All right. So you see that player is there on the corner, and they drop into the ink. What I would do from, like, right here is just shoot at that corner that you saw them drop into. If you hit them, then you hit them. If they've stealthily moved to the other side of the tower, well, now you know you just aim at the other side of the tower. But from here, you can hit them from a range that they can't hit you. And so you want to be taking these shots now instead of swimming all the way up to them and trying to, like, get in range when that lets them get back in range of you. So now they're on tower. We see a couple of players over there. That's a pretty good bomb placement. That makes it really annoying for them to reach anywhere. You're able to get a player. There was another player to your back left. We saw shots going down at your feet down there after you got that opponent. So you probably just missed that one. But there is someone behind you now. Your teammate there actually did exactly the right thing. As soon as someone new comes to get on the tower, they jumped off. And that was really good of them. Yeah, and there that player who was already behind you comes back to bite you. So we're a few players down. Jumping in is a little bit risky here, but it looks like... Nope. Yeah, that was actually really good. You have two players out in front of you. You've got a lot of green ink in front. I couldn't see from, you know, what you were able to see on the map, but what you saw on the map would have definitely told you that this was a safe jump. From here, again, like, instead of piling multiple players on tower, you probably want to be getting someone out in front of the tower. And so if that's not going to be your opponent, or sorry, that's not going to be your teammate, that should probably be you. Nice pick. This player is pretty much out of play, but you get him anyway, which is awesome. Oh, you almost got that player too. And your teammate follows up and gets them. This is really good. I like that your teammate's playing it safe, and then they dodge around the back side to try and get this player. Nobody goes down for a while. They're able to finally get them out. But you can see, this is kind of what's going to happen whenever you have the tower rider be the furthest player forward. Multiple times now, since the tower has been the furthest player forward, it's just been rushed down by multiple players from the enemy spawn at once. And there's really been nothing that you can do to keep it pushing forward. Whereas if somebody goes in front of the tower and then the tower comes through, that person in front is who all of these players are attacking. And they have more freedom to move around. They have crossfire from the tower rider. Like, they have a lot higher of a likelihood of surviving and even winning those fights. So, like, this right here is just going to get stopped again in exactly the same way. Because the tower rider is the one that's furthest forward on the map out of the entire team. And we get wiped for that. So that whole push there was actually a really good illustration of that concept that I drew up on the maps before. Alright. Now the player who launched those missiles is going to know you're coming, because remember that missiles reveal your position. And that is why that flings a shot is already right on your location. It's because you were marked the entire way you were swimming through there. So the flingza is just going to immediately know exactly where you're at. So when you have missiles on you, it's better to just play a little bit more defensive and go for a flank later. What I will sometimes even do is I will pretend I'm going one way until the missiles are not locked on anymore, and then go someplace else, so that I'm feeding them incorrect information about what my position is. From here, what I would have actually done, especially since you have teammates who are already in this spot, is I would have gone off to the left and taken the high ground underneath that tent that you can see to your left. Reason for that is that you do have the range to hit the tower from up there, and that way your opponents can't swim up to you. They'd have to, like, jump across from the tower if they're going to get there at all. And they can't do that yet because they're stuck at this checkpoint. From up there, you as the longer ranged weapon are going to be safer. You're going to be able to cut sight lines from short range weapons, even if they get fairly close to you, because you can just back up and now the ledge is in between you and them. And it lets you kind of put that range advantage to good use because you have the high ground to see over the top of cover and stuff. But now we have 3 players on our team that are all in the same spot here. And if, let's say, a single bomb were to get thrown on this exact spot, we would all be in trouble. And in fact, a roller does get on top of 2 of us at the same time, and so we just go 2 down, even though we had a big numbers advantage. I like the idea to throw a bomb. This is a good position to be shooting from. Again, we drop. We don't need to drop here yet. We could just take the left-hand side, and we would be able to see the tower the rest of the way out. And it would also put us in a better defensive position if they get back on the tower. Right now I'm noticing, and this is just, you know, an awareness thing that takes some time to develop, but I just noticed that the Tri-Slosher has special. They have an inkjet. So if you're standing on top of a ledge, you want to be a little bit careful because an inkjet can surprise you and all of a sudden just one-shot you from over the top with very little warning. But your teammates are able to clean that up. Only 10 seconds left. Going to be a really tough push for them to make if they're going to be able to win the game. And right now you have someone on the tower, so you know that there's nobody on it, but they stay on even though they're getting attacked. So it's unfortunate that we all wipe right at that moment. But just take the high ground here. Nice. This is where I wanted you to go before. Unfortunately, the tower pushes close enough to you that you're not actually going to use your range if you push up that close. So instead of trying to like run at the tower, given that you're the longer ranged weapon, you want to be using your range to splat them first and then move forward later. Otherwise, you again put yourself in their range, and that's where they have an advantage over you instead of the other way around. And that's going to be game for them, unfortunately. So the wipe was just like really bad timing. When you're close to the end of the game like that, your top priority is just to stay alive. Because as long as time just continues to tick and you don't wipe and or like let them on the tower, they don't get that opportunity. So instead of staying on the tower, you might just want to get off it. One other thing to think about is that when you're off the tower and it's like resetting slowly to mid, it's going to get there at half the speed as if you were standing on top of it. So normally that's a good thing. Normally it's not a good thing for the tower to be moving slower back into mid. But if the opposing team only has 5 seconds to get on, moving the tower to them faster is actually going to make it more likely that they actually get on the tower and trigger overtime. So in that situation, you might actually want to get off the tower to make it move slower and actually keep it closer to your side where it's harder for them to get to, and they have to make a more desperate run, and you're going to be able to like splat them as they come. So that's a thought.
Okay. I have tea now.
I'm glad that you have tea. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, but I'm going to go otherwise into Q&A mode with the rest of chat here.
Q&A time.
Q&A time. All right. Thank you, Buzz. Appreciate you. And I hope you feel better soon. All right. Tip, play so bad that you will surprise the enemy team and win. I don't know that's necessarily going to work, but let me know. I'm always open to new ideas. How to get out of A rank. I have a video about that. Like, literally the title of the video that I made is How to Get Out of A rank. Unless you're quoting that video, I don't know. How do you stay motivated to play Splatoon? I only enjoy... shoot, it's scrolling too fast for me to catch up. I enjoy playing Splatoon a lot, but I can only get motivated to play the game with friends. Then only play the game with friends. If you're trying to, you know, improve so that you're able to keep up with your friends better, then yeah, maybe you want to play a little bit on your own, but play the game the way you enjoy it, you know? If you're doing, you know, as well, well enough to accomplish your goals by just playing with friends, then just make a whole bunch of friends and play with them instead. I personally would not have, you know, played the game for anywhere near as long as I have, if not for the possibility of playing in coordinated competitive play. I would have quit the game at like about 150 hours in Splatoon 2 if solo queue was all I had access to. But the fact that I was able to play it with other people was the reason I'm still around. Mr. Gem, please hit the gritty for me? No. Gem, I'm here. I'm new here. What's your main weapon? Splattershot. Welcome. Did you know that the blaster uses your speed to offset its speed? Move forward to increase range. Your speed to offset its... So your movement speed to offset its speed? So like the projectile speed? I'm not sure exactly what that means. But I'll have to check that out and kind of test it and see. Are the how to get out of rank videos still relevant with Splatoon 3's new ranking system? So here's the thing. You'll see a lot of comments on those videos that says like, I'm S+, but this was still helpful, right? So the ranks are not nearly as well tailored to skill levels in this game as they were in Splatoon 2. Because Splatoon 2 relied much, much more on Glico power, and not at all on this silly, the more you play, the more you gain system, which doesn't actually indicate your skill, just how long you've played in a lot of ways. So some of them won't correlate as closely with the same exact mistakes that people will make, but it still 100% describes the learning curve. Like, if you're at a certain level, you will be kind of at the place where the C rank video will help you the most. If you're at a certain level, there will be a point where the B rank video will be what helps you the most instead, and so on. It just may not align absolutely perfectly with C rank, B rank. You know, I would just say to watch the videos and see what you can learn from them, because that is the most concentrated source of Splatoon advice that I have on the internet. It is just, here are all of the things that I think you will get the most value out of learning from that I can shove together into one big video essay. If you could buff or nerf any weapon, sub, and special in the game, what would you change? I would make Big Swig Roller, Arrow Spray, and Undercover Umbrella significantly better main weapons. Probably like a damage buff to the Undercover so that maybe it could two-shot. I think that would be a huge deal for it. Even at the same fire rate, I think that would still be balanced. Arrow Spray... I don't know if I make it 4-shot or if I increase its range a little bit. I'd have to think about it. Maybe make its combat range equal to its painting range, because it's significantly less. Like, the Arrow Spray actually goes like a full line further in the training room with paint than it does with combat. So like here, you can see where the X forms. It's at two bars away, right? But I'm firing from 3 bars away, and it looks like it's painting that far. It looks like it's reaching that far, right? Imagine if you actually made this weapon able to reach that far. That would actually be a really good weapon at that point. That would be kind of what the Nova wishes it was. So there are a lot of things that you could do, and maybe these changes are a little too extreme. Maybe they don't need quite as heavy a hand with their buffs, but they definitely need something, I think. I have the problem of trying to get my friends into the game, but I'm S rank, and they would join into C rank, so it would be a struggle to get them up to it with no prior Squid Gaming for them. Playing Anarchy Open, it will actually balance the teams out pretty well. Like, it'll make it so that you're winning and losing at about the same amount. So it might be a little overwhelming for them because you'll draw the skill level of their opponents up. But if they're willing to stick with it, like, they will learn pretty quickly from doing that. So it's not the worst idea to just play Anarchy Open with them and just be really patient and teach them as much as you can while you go without overwhelming them like, you need to learn this or else we're not friends anymore. You know, like, obviously don't get too intense about it. Never had an X power before. How high is 2163.8? So it's tricky because X ranks in this game, in Splatoon 3, are a little bit inflated from what they were in Splatoon 2. In Splatoon 2, it was maybe like 15 players in the world who ever got to 3000 X power. And right now, even very early on in the game's lifespan, there are a bunch of people who are posting those 3Ks. So I would say you want to take like a Splatoon 3 X power and maybe like subtract 150, 200 points from it or something. And that's kind of close to what you would have been in Splatoon 2. That's a really rough rule of thumb, and I don't stand by that necessarily. I'm willing to be convinced that that's wrong, but what I would say is that the barrier into X rank in Splatoon 2 was you had to hit 2K. You had to hit 2,000. And so if you want kind of a measure compared to like the How to Get Out of Rank series that I made, that 2163, that's kind of like low X rank, basically. That's the point at which a lot of players start getting into competitive play, but don't have a lot of experience in it at all yet. So they're starting to like figure out what weapons are meta, how to play their weapon optimally, but they don't really know a lot about coordination and that sort of thing. That's about the level that you tend to see people at that point. How many hours do you have on Splatoon 3? It's deceptive because... So, the number that the game will tell you is 775, which means that, on average, the game has been powered on for more than a third of my life since it came out. Which is, like, true, except that it doesn't take into consideration the fact that during any VOD review, any Metafy lesson that I ever do, I have the game on, but I'm not necessarily playing it. During any time that I'm video editing, I have it on in case I need to collect footage, but that doesn't mean I'm doing anything. Like, a lot of those hours are just me being in the lobby, staring at the floor. So it's actually really hard to judge how much I've actually spent playing the video game, rather than just having it powered on. Top 500 is still... I'd say top 500 is closer to like 2600, 2700 in this game. Like, I think, I remember seeing Dio post his powers lately. He had, like, a 2600 peak or something in Splatoon 2. And he was posting, like, 2700 on, like, very early on as soon as rank was revealed. It was, like, day one. So he hadn't even really had time to grind by the time he'd gotten up to that point. We're seeing Melon, who is one of the best players of the entire world from Japan, who was routinely up at the 3K or even the 3.1K mark in Splatoon 2, hit like a 3270 or something. So, like I said, they're inflated a little bit by about 150 to 200 from where you would normally expect. I would say that like 2100 is probably a lot better than average for a Splatoon player. In Splatoon 2, the average Splatoon player was in B rank. Like, 30% was in C, 30%, it was like 33% was in C, 33% was in B, or 30% was in B, I think. 20 was in A, and then there was like 5 in S, something like that. I think I'm missing. No, right. It was maybe like 10%. No, it was a smaller amount that was an S than was an S plus. So there's like 5% in S, and then most of the rest are in S plus, and like 1% were in X. Now in this game, you only have to be S plus 0 to have access to X power. So just being X rank doesn't automatically mean you're just top 1% now, but being able to maintain an X power of like 2K probably does mean that you're at least top 5%. Watched your video on learning motion controls. Greatly appreciate that you're just about the only creator that gave some insight on posture. That being said, after many dozens of hours, I constantly change my posture and sensitivity settings because nothing feels stable or natural. Do you have any advice? So posture, in terms of health, is actually, like, people will say, you know, doctors will say, the best posture for you is the next one you shift to. That, like, shifting posture is actually very healthy, that you're just gonna tire yourself out if you try to keep like that quote-unquote optimal posture that everyone says you need to have. Like, sure, you can like develop the back muscles by working out to be able to maintain it, but it's tiring on your muscles to do that. So it may be putting less pressure on your joints and stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're just moving around a lot, you won't have to worry about that as much. So I think that posture is a bit overemphasized, and that there are a lot of assumptions that we take for granted about it that we shouldn't be. But for Splatoon in particular, you want the most stable position possible. You want to only be moving your controller at your own volition. You don't want it to be shaking because your body is trying to hold it up. So what I'm always doing is I've got my forearms on my thighs. I've got my feet grounded on the floor. I've got my chair set up so that it's at like my legs are at 90 degrees. And then all that's moving the controller are my hands and wrists. My arms are not going to move it. My body position is not going to move it. It's much more stable than if you were to, say, try to stand up while playing. Or in the case of what I was doing earlier, kneel down on the floor and try playing, because you don't have the same stability. What is your new favorite idol? Shiver. Close second is Fry. Distant third is Big Man. How do you build confidence in the game? I saw Chase247 tweet that question, and it's been interesting looking at the replies. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So confidence is something that comes from the knowledge that you're going to be okay. It comes from being grounded in, first of all, this game, you know, win or lose, it is not a problem if I lose it. A good friend of mine from back when he was living in Arizona, Wobbles, he's one of the people that I like look up to more than most, and he at one point got second place at Evo for Melee. He wasn't ranked, I think, even top 10 in the world at that time. So him being up there with all of the best players in the world, just about to win it, like actually beating the player who ended up defeating him in grand finals on the winner's side. It was one of the most impressive performances that anybody has ever done in the game of Super Smash Bros. Melee. And when he blogged about it, he had a blog about his mindset, because he's been through more than most with regard to mental health stuff. And he has a really good perspective on it because he simply has experience in dealing with some of the worst aspects of human nature and kind of figuring out how to wrangle them. And he's very wise in that regard. Somebody that is very good to listen to. And what he said was simply, I went into that tournament not really giving a care and deciding to like hang out with friends and have a fun time because I knew it was going to be my last tournament. And that was the tournament where I played the best that I ever have in my life. And it's because he was relaxed. It's because he didn't give a crap if he lost, and that freed his mind up to not be thinking about winning and losing, and instead to be thinking about, all right, Mango's approaching with a nair, and this is spaced poorly, so I'm going to be able to wave dash backwards and grab him on landing, and then I'm going to be able to wobble him, and that's a stock. You got to get your brain off the, oh no, I'm about to lose parts of it. They sneak in subconsciously, but they are so detrimental to you focusing on the right things. They're so detrimental to your brain being able to do its nerdy thing and actually explain the game to you and let you figure out what you need to do next. So, some amount of confidence is just not giving a crap. Like, obviously, you know, you have to care a lot about the game to want to improve at it, right? And so it's a weird balance to try and strike, but you need to have a little bit of that perspective that at the end of the day, this is fine. Whatever happens in this match, it's fine. And that's something that I think helps me a lot, specifically when I'm on stream. Because I'm just like playing Anarchy Open or something, right? And people ask me all the time, like, how are you able to stay so calm? It's because I know that this doesn't matter. You get me in a tournament match with my competitive team where I'm being put to my limits mechanically and I'm finding it really, really hard to stay alive. That's when the nerves kick in for me. They don't kick in solo queue because I don't care about solo queue. They kick in elsewhere. So that's a little bit about confidence. Another thing is that confidence is something that that's kind of a personal stat that you have, your level of confidence. There are some people that just have a ton of confidence, too much confidence. Those are the kinds of people that you hear about, you know, dying in silly, stupid ways in college because they felt invincible and like they could jump off a balcony. That's a little bit too much confidence, but there are like people who just are naturally very confident, who have that instilled in them from, you know, when they're young. It helps, you know, in some ways to be like a physically attractive person or to be really good at having conversation with people, because that's something that you can feel confidence in, that confidence can kind of carry over into other aspects of your life, because your emotional state doesn't care what it is you're confident about. It just knows that feeling confident. And so that's one big reason that a lot of people actually care about becoming more physically attractive. It's that, like, it's a source of confidence that may not be rational. Like, you're not going to be better at Splatoon just because you're good looking, except maybe you kind of are, because it's going to give you that confidence, you know? So that's a little bit that I have to say on that subject. Best situation to use Squid Roll, mostly for movements, specifically when you need to change directions and also jump at the same time. It's faster to do that. It's not faster to do most other things, and the armor is very situational. Maybe if you need to survive a bomb but stay in the same place, it would be a good thing to do. It's useful a lot in Salmon Run, because you can just kind of tank a little bit more damage if you've got the space to back up and use your paint for it. But in combat, you're typically not going to throw someone off that badly by squid rolling. So it's more of like a movement thing. Sometimes with weapons where you're going to be jumping and shooting, you get a lot of like squid rolls by accident, and that little burst of momentum before you shoot can be helpful for moving you around. But that's about it. What was your favorite campaign? I haven't played one. I don't know. I don't really play for the campaigns. I think Octo Expansion. Octo Expansion was probably my favorite. Do you work out IRL at all? If so, what do you do? I was a distance runner for a long time, and I still get out occasionally, not nearly as much as I should. Yeah, learning to laugh at your own mistakes is really healthy, because your alternatives are feeling sad, like, oh no, I'm awful, or feeling angry at something other than you, like, oh my god, why couldn't the lizard people just grant me magical powers to let me be better at this game? Or, my teammates are throwing, when clearly you were the one who made the mistake, you know? So being able to laugh at yourself, be like, I did it dumb. That's a much more positive emotional state to leave yourself in after doing something like that. Now, there is a point at which, like, you do want to stress yourself a little bit about that sort of thing. Like, if you're just like, whatever, I'll just jump off a cliff, it'll be funny, haha, see, haha, funny. If you're on a competitive team and that's kind of your attitude toward it and you're not really taking any effort to fix that, that can be an issue, but yeah, I'd say that being able to laugh at your mistakes is important. Jem, let's see your cat. Okay, one sec. Here is cat. I know that Flingza is more of a supportive weapon, but is a developed playstyle to be more upfront and aggressive with it. I think every weapon should be able to play fights as well as they can. Like, always be able to fight on your weapon. Don't just count on being able to get away with only ever painting. You need to do stuff with the weapon eventually. And when you do stuff with the weapon, it can kind of play like a splat roller. So know how to play that playstyle as well and be able to shift into it. I would even recommend playing the splat roller specifically so that it teaches you how to use that horizontal flick in combat. But the Flingza is going to spend a lot of its time just painting for missiles. Am I handicapping myself if I play difficult-to-use weapons for the sake of tempering my mechanics? It depends on which mechanics you need to use. Like, if your weapon doesn't need those mechanics, then maybe you don't need to learn them. That said, with something like, if you play like a Tri-Slosher, I do recommend playing like a shooter or something a little bit more accurate that requires you to aim, because Tri-Sloshers will miss shots if they're not used to aiming in this game. And Tri-Slosher is often a weapon in particular, along with maybe like Dapple Dualies or Dualie Squelchers or Rollers, that people go to because they're easy to aim with at bottom level, at like beginner level. They're weapons that you don't really need to learn or interface with the aim mechanics at all to be able to get generally in the right direction to be able to hit shots more often than not. Learning how to aim is still important for those so that you are not wasting any shots. So in those kinds of situations, yeah, sure. Let's play together sometime. I would love to say yes, but there's so many people who want to play with me and so many other things that I need to do that a lot of the time I'm just not able to do stuff like that. I play with all of the people who I do VOD reviews for. On like PB nights, I will jump in and play with folks there sometimes. But a lot of the time I'm playing so much to make videos, and I'm playing so much for my competitive team, and you know, for all of the other stuff I do, that I'm not able to just like pick up with whoever wants to on stream. How much intensify action is too much? Depends on the weapon, because different weapons need it different amounts. T-Tech shot or normal shot? Normal shot. What do you do to prepare for tournaments, both if you want to calm your nerves or hype yourself up? I never want to hype myself up. I am never playing my best when I am excited, when I have a high heart rate. I'm always best when I am calm and calculated and not behaving impulsively. So, when I was playing Melee, I developed the ability to be able to just empty my brain, basically, to completely... It's a sort of like meditative sort of calm, and to be able to do that really quickly, because being able to do that while your character is respawning onto the spawn platform, just being able to like... and you're back to a completely like balanced mental state with none of the mental garbage in your subconscious like lingering and having an emotional impact on you. That was really powerful for me. And so that's the sort of thing that I try to do in matches to greater or lesser success some of the time. Like, sometimes I get more heated than other times. And there are, you know, definitely times even on stream where I have been more upset than I'm proud of. So it's a constant struggle. Cat, yes. Tips on helping anxiety during a game. I tend to get really anxious and avoid playing PvP and just end up playing Salmon Run, but I do miss Anarchy. So, this is something that I can't weigh in on from personal experience because I tend to externalize my negative feelings. I tend to like blame teammates if I'm gonna do anything, you know, negative, if I'm gonna tilt. And the kind of person who gets like that anxious is the type who is going to over-blame themselves. They're like going too far in the opposite direction. Like my problems arise from me blaming other people when I'm to blame, but anxious people's problems come from blaming themselves when it wasn't really within their control and they're going too hard on themselves and wearing themselves out emotionally. So I don't have as much insight into how to handle that, except to kind of try to be realistic about, like, only, like, stress yourself about things you can control, first of all. And secondly, to find very supportive teammates to play with. People who are going to reaffirm you and who are not going to externalize and lash out at you if something goes wrong. Because I've seen some very, very kind of shut-in type people manage to find competitive teams that they're happy on. Just, it takes a little bit longer for them to get comfortable with the people around them. And that's a factor of it as well. Like, if you're going to be playing with other people, then definitely, you know, get comfortable with those people. And if you are playing solo queue, then learn not to care what that solo queue player is thinking or doing, and only focus on your own stuff, because you can't control your teammates, you can only control yourself. That's not true necessarily in a team setting. In a team setting, you actually can give input to what your teammates do and how your teammates treat you. But in solo queue, they are random internet strangers, and you are not responsible for their reactions. Do you have to be forklift certified to be good at this game? Yes. How attractive do you have to be good at Splatoon? Depends. Teammates can watch the replay from my POV. 99 times out of 100, they are not watching your POV and being like, look at how bad this player is. And if they are, they're assholes. So you don't have to care what they think. Shoot, it just skipped a whole bunch of things. So I'm trying to scroll back. Do you ever get fatigued or burnt out playing so much Splatoon? If you do, what do you do to get yourself back into Splatoon? I honestly don't play the game enough to burn myself out on it right now. There has been a time when I was like that, and what really helped was playing different weapons if I needed to keep practicing, if I needed to keep playing. It kept the game fresher for me. Trying to learn a new play style kept the game fresh for me. But also consider just not playing that much, you know? There's not a problem with not being good at silly Squid Game. Like, who cares? Like, oh no, I'm A rank instead of S rank. The world is collapsing around me. Like, that's not gonna change anything. Like, you play as much as you need to accomplish your own goals. And if you set your goals realistically, you should be able to be happy by being A rank instead of S rank. So, it just depends on what you're willing to put into it. Are there any good C-Tech players other than you that you think... Oh, okay, so first of all, use of the word good again. We talked about that earlier. The use of the word good in that context is something I vehemently disagree with. I think it is not useful to use the word good that way because good is relative. What I say is good is different from what anyone else says is good, and so using that word, we are not communicating the same thing to each other. What I say is good might mean something different from what you say is good. And so I don't find it useful to use the term at all. I try to refer to people in more objective measures of skills. So, for example, are there any top-level players would be a better question, because those are the kinds of players who are winning big tournaments and are much, much better at the video game than me, I would like to say. Zero is definitely the best North American splattershot player, I would say right now. Zero mechanically is just absurdly, absurdly good at the video game. And if you're interested in learning how to play it better mechanically, I would watch him. Now, he also plays insanely aggressively to a point that I cannot in good faith recommend to most players. He plays it like you should play a Tetraduelies. He plays it just diving into the enemy team and hoping that his team, being insanely good as they are going to be able to follow up on what he's doing. So that's something to bear in mind, that like decision-making wise, he's going to dive into some fights that you probably shouldn't be trying to dive into. But there are so many people who are better at the splatter shot than me. Like, I'm what competitive players would consider mid-level. I am not, like, by any means the best on Earth at this weapon or anything like that. Do you play Geometry Dash? I have. I don't play it much. Do you think quick respawn is a strong ability? On aggressive weapons, yes. A very slow, help you analyze the situation. Yeah, I really liked playing Range Blaster for that reason, Felix Margarita. How do you generally identify what exactly you're tilting at? Not like how I externalize it, but rather what caused the tilt in the first place. Video is actually huge. If you have video with yourself on the callouts, you'll, like, figure out the exact play in the game that caused it. It's really, really interesting to listen to yourself and how your tone and everything changes. A lot of the time, players just fall silent when it's starting to happen, or they start to talk in a certain way. So recording yourself is huge for that, and that's how I was able to figure out what patterns I tend to fall into when I start tilting. Who's the best sloshing machine user I can study? There are a lot of them. Oh my god, there's so many Japanese players and Western players who are all playing that at top level. Kyo would be a great player to watch. Kyo is a regular streamer. Kyo plays buckets. I think he's been playing more vanilla buckets than machine, but he can definitely play machine, you know, better than most people too. But you'll see a machine if you just stick around a tournament long enough. You know, a tournament where top-level players are entering. What do you do when you have a really bad team comp in solo queue? One time, you do the best that you can with what you've got. You know, you look at... I was a machine with 3 splatter shot pros. So you're probably going to need to paint a little bit more because they're not going to be able to paint as much. You do the best that you can with what you're given. And sometimes it's just going to be bad. But you try to offset the weaknesses you can as much as you can. And you don't worry about it too much, and you move on to the next game if it goes badly. If I queue into a game of S+0, do I match up with people also in S+0? You don't even match up with only people who are in S+. It's really dumb in series. It's just all over the place. I'm a blob main, but kind of unsatisfied with its current kit. If you could make a theoretical one, what would it be? I don't play the blob well enough to be able to really comment on this, because my take was, Sprinkler and Rain isn't terrible for it. Now, everyone was saying that Wall and Bomb Rush were the 2 parts of the kit that they liked better, and that putting those 2 together would have made for a better kit, except that there's no Bomb Rush in this game. So, I don't know. It would do well with Crab. It would do well with Booyah. It would do well with Missiles. Missiles would be a little bit rough. I wouldn't want that in the game, even though it's good. Do you have any videos on positioning? Positioning is very situational and dependent on your weapon. I do talk about positioning considerably in the What Am I Doing series of videos, so I would recommend looking up those. I think that'll get you the answers you're looking for, probably. Best time to super jump. It's going to be... Or do you mean squid roll? I don't know if you mean squid roll, squid surge, or super jump. Which of those things do you actually mean? Oh god, I'm 6 minutes behind. Who's considered the best analyst in Splatoon 3? Probably FLC. FLC is the one who kind of taught us all how to play the game. There are others who I definitely would respect and trust, but he's generally the one who has, in my experience, called out trends that are about to happen in the game before they actually happen in the West the most. And maybe there's some others who are really good at top level of play who I'm not getting as much exposure to, but FLC does stream fairly regularly and is very vocal about what he thinks is happening. So he's maybe a little grumpy sometimes, but I mean, that's more endearing than not once you get used to it. I've seen TikToks of people posting their solo queue teammates' POVs to make fun of them or have negative reactions to their playing style. And those people suck. And you should not support their content by watching it. There's no point in doing that. It's not useful. It's not helping anybody to learn how to play the game better. It's not making that player play better. It's not making you go into the game with a better mental state. Like, there is nothing that expression is doing that is good for the world. Like, there are times where I will put someone on screen and talk about, like, here's what they're doing wrong. But usually that is either for educational purposes of, hey, see this thing? Don't do this thing, everybody who's watching my stream. Or it's for the purposes of saying, hey, you person who I'm actually VOD reviewing, like, I understand that, like, you're upset that you lost this and you're looking for ways that you could have done that better. But please realize, like, you can't be too hard on yourself given that your teammate died 15 times. Like, that wasn't entirely your fault. So, go a little easier on yourself. Zero doesn't play the game anymore, only plays for fun. Yeah, I guess he did end up leaving Sayonara. But there's very recent videos of him playing with Sayonara. Can you recommend high-level Octobrush users? I know Chara and Hammer. Chara is definitely the stronger Octobrush user. They're the one who's pushing it the most in North American play. I would definitely check to see if anyone's running it in Japan and see if you could follow them. ZoneCup_JP would be a good Twitch channel to follow. See if you can find anyone. What can you say about drills for weapons or gameplay? Is it even worth it if I'm trying to improve? Oh, absolutely. I'll always be, like, trying to shoot these targets and in very specific ways. My video learning motion controls has all of my aim drills. I would recommend looking at that. What gear would be good on Luna Neo? Sendu.inc/builds. What are your pronouns? He, him. What does your recording setup look like? Capture card and audio and stuff? I've got an Elgato HD60S that splits what's coming from the switch to my TV and then over to my computer. And then on the computer, I'm running OBS. And I've also... So OBS is set up to go to restream.io, which sends it to both YouTube and Twitch. And I've got a couple of monitors. I used to only run it off one monitor. You really only need one for gameplay and one for the computer, but I have two, thanks to Annie, who very generously donated one to me for the sake of the stream. Kyo is, yeah, Kyo-chan DXD is Kyo. Skill-based matchmaking in this game doesn't actually impact any of the game modes. Is there any mode where you can reliably be matched with people you're... No, the matchmaking is going to work the same in all the game modes. Series matchmaking is really bizarre, and I don't understand why they designed it the way they did. It already worked really well in Splatoon 2, and the ranks meant something, and they were all tied to a very well-respected ranking system in Glico. I don't get why they had to change it. The current X-Battle system is much, much closer to what it was in Splatoon 2, and it's just so much better, and that should be how series works. Do you have an idea of when the next What Am I Doing is going to be coming out? I found the others super helpful. Yeah, so my problem right now is literally just that long-term projects are really hard to do because I'm doing daily uploads at the same time. So I have to get ahead. I have to, like, make 2 videos in one day so that the next day, instead of working on the next day's video, I can work on that long-term project. And it's hard to find the time to be doing that and also have a life. I don't have a life currently, for the record, but... so it's taking a little while to get through those projects, and there's another one that I'm working on that's taking priority over the What Am I Doing series for now. But that one will also be exciting, I think. Do high-level players play open anymore? I've noticed the general skill level of open players is lowered since launch. A lot of them are playing X battles, but they're probably going to go back to series at some point so that they can get their S plus ranking up to at least 10. But it is true that the level in series is probably dropping, because why would you play series when X Battles gives you a better number to actually describe how good you are at the video game? The only reason would be to be able to get back into X Battles by the time the next season comes around, and even then you only need to get up to 10. I don't know that other players are even going to care to get to S plus 50 anymore. So that definitely changes the ranked landscape a bit. Is Splatoon 3 worth it? Does it have a high player count? Is it the best Splatoon game? I believe that mechanically it is the best Splatoon game. The internet, the latency and the server situation, the fact that it doesn't have servers, it feels worse than it has ever been, although I'm sure that's going to be fixed more and more as the game goes on. If you've got a Switch and you're looking for a shooter to play on it, it is absolutely the best one, hands down, no question about it. I think it is absolutely a game that deserves to be discussed in terms of mechanics and team play, along with other higher tier esports. But it's not for everybody. So, you know, I'm not gonna say yes, you absolutely must buy it. You know, even though I'm a YouTube channel that specializes in Splatoon content, but I definitely think it's worth a look. Like, if you've got the Switch, get Splatoon and see what you think of it. It's gonna be hard at first, and it's gonna have a control scheme that you've never had to use before in any other game. So, you know, give it some patience and give it some time. But I think it is really engrossing and fun. What can I do to guarantee more picks or at least get splats without getting splatted? Shoot at people who are shooting at your teammates. So is series not being matched with players your rank? Nope. People in B rank have reported seeing people with the S plus badge on their splash tags. It's dumb. It should not work the way that it does. Do you think a drop roller X super jump spam playstyle can work? On a really aggressive weapon like Tetris, that's kind of the thing you do. Not with drop roller, though. You use stealth jump. Stealth jump gets you in safer. Everybody runs stealth jump at top level. Like, literally everybody who's ever going to be jumping into a teammate runs stealth jump, regardless of how aggressively they play. What was Gem's melee tag when he played? Gem. I've kind of struggled with there's actually a video of me playing in a recent video I put out. The one about brine water. That is me playing melee against Army, a top Ice Climbers player from SoCal. Would you ever go back to play Splatoon 2 for fun? I mean, Splatoon 3 is fun for the same reasons. I guess the one thing that I would really like was to go back to the Tenatech that actually has Inkjet and be able to use that again, but the only reason I ever went into Splatoon 2 since Splatoon 3 came out was to get footage of something. Where would you start if you want to improve your analytical skills? I guess just practice. That's kind of all that I can really say. Practice and test your assumptions of the game against what other people think. Like, perform publicly your analysis so that other people can get in the chat and tell you why you're wrong. And you can determine whether you think the chat is wrong or not. What are some Splatoon 1 or 2 maps that you want to see in Splatoon 3? A lot of Splatoon maps should come back. I want to see the Reef completely unchanged. I want to see Piranha Pit completely unchanged except for Rainmaker. I want to see... Oh, there were so many good maps in Splatoon 2 that didn't make it over yet. I don't know enough about Splatoon 1 because I played that game for 2 hours. But... What else? What were some of the really good maps from Splatoon 2 that I want to see back? I don't mind Albacore. I thought that was a lot of fun competitively. Man, even a map like Muscle Forge makes a lot of the Splatoon 3 maps look complex. Or look, like, simple. Even though Muscle Forge was relatively problematic. Like, most of the Splatoon 2 stages are better than most of the Splatoon 3 stages. Favorite victory pose? Oh, there are a lot of good ones. Right now it's kind of victory strut, but I'm not currently using it. I like the wave 'em off one. That's funny. And the ones that are really smug are also really fun. I like the you're welcome and the chill out. Or not chill out. The one where you're fanning yourself. I forget what it's called. Oh yeah, Humpback. Humpback was such a good map. Like, that was playable at every level. It's, you know, every level of skill. No chill. That was what it was. So there's chill out and there's no chill. I get the names confused. Yeah, those ones are so rude, and I love it. Snapper Canal was... I actually came around to liking Snapper Canal. It's not like a favorite for many people, but it's complex. Oh, goodness. Top 500 players here. Alright, we're gonna... And I've seen Red Spy around before. This is gonna be a little bit high level, so I'm gonna try and concentrate here as much as I can, but see what we can do. They're relatively short range. Range blasters should kind of get their pick of whatever fights they want to take. I'm going to try and keep someone from being able to drop down on my teammates over here. I kind of want to drop down, but I just don't have the numbers to be able to support that fight right now. Ah, roller got me. I was hoping my teammates would be able to cover that angle because I had to retreat from what was above me. We did eventually get them, but we're pushed further back on the map and they scored. We definitely need to get rid of this bubbler here so people don't jump into it. There are a bunch of bubblers, actually. We got a junior and a roller. Yeah, this is probably not going to get any value. Okay, never mind. We got one. Clean up, because my goodness, we do not have a lot of that. I think I kind of just need to play paint support right now, because we've got two weapons that are really going to depend on other people to paint for them. One Zuka coming out, and then I'm going to be able to fire my own in just a second. Do I have any? Yeah, I got one. I'm actually going to sneak through here, because I don't think anybody's watching this. Oh, hello. Well. Outplayed. Almost outplayed. I just needed one more shot, and that would have done it. Thanks for the donation, Scrap Dragon. Everyone watch bomb placement video. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the recommendation. Oh my god. Pretty good strat. Awesome. Glad you're getting value out of it. Woo, got him before the bubbler went up. Oh, crap. Go away. Okay, that's almost a wipe. Where's this machine? Are they up here? Yeah, they're up here. Oh god, there's two people. I'm just gonna... Oh, wait, shoot. Well. Didn't need any of those shots to hit, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, we're good. I'm waiting to see if someone drops on me. I'm, like, feinting a push forward to see who jumps out at me, so that I know where they're gonna be shooting at me from, and then I go in. So far, so good. Oh god. Yeah, I don't make it out of that. I didn't think I had enough ink in front of me to be able to swim forward. Ooh. Wait. I jumped the pity in when we win this game. Oh, stay in there. Stay in there. Let's go. This is it. Awesome. That was a good game. The video about the flank route on Brinewater? No, it wasn't. That was a different one. Bomb placement. I actually had two videos on that, and I forget. I don't know which one they're talking about in this context. One was about kind of everything about bombs, and then one was about specifically where to place them to help in fights. There was a bomb placement one that I talked about a specific play on Brinewater, and maybe that's what we're thinking about. Treat me like I've never played Clamblitz before. Devi told me I'm a clam holder, but I have no idea what that entails. Oh, okay. So, in Clamblitz... one second. Let me back up and see if there was a question that was asked earlier. Okay, anyway. So in Clam Blitz, the way that you play the objective is, ideally, you know, this is the perfect scenario for a push. Ideally what happens is everyone on your team collects 7 clams. So not a full power clam, but 1 away from it. And then you wipe the enemy team, get to the enemy basket. Your teammate, like, whoever gets closest to the basket first gets 1 single clam thrown at them to create a power clam. Because you can pass clams back and forth between the 2 of you. And then you score that clam so that there's never any warning that someone made the power clam. The power clam is never visible. It's just there as soon as it's ready to be scored and at no other point in time. And then from the rest of that push, everybody just scores individual clams because those reset the basket by more. They're more efficient. And you can throw them from further away, so it's safer to be trying to score them. And you only want 1 person scoring at a time so that the rest of them can protect that player instead of everybody just like looking up at the basket and not seeing anything around them. Now, that doesn't always happen. A lot of the time what happens is you end up with a power clam. Maybe you had a pity clam, and the enemy team scored again before you used the pity clam. So if you just, like, don't do anything, the second pity clam never drops. So in that case, you might want to pick up the pity clam you currently have, so that now you have 2 power clams ready to go instead of just 1. Even that is situational, but most of the time that's kind of the general idea. And so in a case like that, or if you accidentally make a power clam, you want to throw the power clam back to a player who's going to be playing passively and is unlikely to care that the enemy team knows their position, or won't care as much. An aggressive frontline weapon that needs to shark a lot is not going to want people to know where they are most of the time. And so they don't want to have that power clam revealing their position, because that significantly diminishes their ability as a short-ranged weapon to ever get close to someone enough that they can attack them. But throwing that to a Hydra, it's like, well, there are like 2 spots on the map the Hydra's ever going to be standing anyway, and they're going to be pretty visible once they're there, so you don't even really worry about them being spotted. You just throw them the power clam, and then they have a relatively safe person that's going to have them. And even if it does matter that that player is seen, the rest of their team is going to be in between you and the power clam holder if you're trying to push them. So they're the least likely player to go down. They're the least likely player to be really interfered with by having the power clam. So different weapons are going to more or less want to have a power clam. Not that anyone really wants to have one if they can help it. What Discords should I go to for scrims and competitive play? The big ones, I would say, are Splatoon Stronghold, Inkademy, and I'm completely blanking. Sendu's server. I would also highly recommend being in Ludi and in the servers for any of the major production companies if you want to compete in those tournaments. So Dapple Productions, Inkling Performance Labs, Little Squid League, Squid Junction, whatever is applicable. Mulloway Institute of Turf is a pretty good one to be in. Squid School is... Most of the players in there are, like, newer to competitive, but you can definitely find people who are willing to play at any given time in there. So that would be a good one. And then... What I'll recommend you do is just go into Inkopolis Crosswalk, which is a Discord server full of links to other Discord servers, and just pick and choose the servers from there that you would like to go through. Do you think Tactical has a niche in Clam Blitz, since the speed boost helps you get clams while the basket is open faster? That's an interesting idea. Like, you pop the Tacticooler during a clam push and use it as a way to score faster, get up into the enemy base faster, respawn and potentially keep a push going for longer. That's not a bad use case for it. I haven't seen how it works in competitive play, but I also... The problem with that use case is that it's very situational. It's not something that you can use at any point in the game. A Booyah Bomb, it doesn't matter if you're on offense, defense, neutral, you've got a way that you can use the Booyah Bomb. It's not just like taking up space on your team comp. A Tacticooler, yeah, I mean, using it on defense might help a little bit, but sometimes it's just going to reveal your frontliners when they don't want to be revealed. It's kind of meh. Is it a bad practice to juggle the power clam? I've seen people doing that. If you've got multiple power clams and you're juggling them, you are instantly target number 1 for the enemy team. And doing so is a difficult mechanical process that is going to force you to focus on something other than the player who's trying to shoot you. So I definitely wouldn't recommend it a lot of the time. However, if the enemy team is wiped, then absolutely go for it. Just realize that you're not going to keep the basket open very long by doing that. How do you get pushes started when you lack map control and you have a backliner staring at all your routes out of spawn? So you regain map control is the simple answer to that question, which you do by taking good fights, pushing in with specials, working with your teammates so that you have a numbers advantage on a given location, even if you may not have a numbers advantage across the whole map. One more question. After I finish unloading my clams into the basket, do I get into a good aggro spot by the basket and hold the zone around the basket so my teammates can get in? Depends. If nobody else on your team is collecting clams and you can clearly see that and they're already frontlining, then you go get clams. If someone's already ferrying clams but nobody's holding the basket, then you hold the basket. And it also depends on what your weapon is better at doing, because if your weapon is aggressive, then you're more likely to get benefit out of trying to hold the line. Whereas if your weapon is really passive or supportive, it may be a better idea for you to just play the supportive role. Well, I don't have any ink for that, so I'm going to back up. And there's a crab, but they're probably looking the other way. No, they're not anymore. Why did I do that? I was thinking that they were going to still be looking at my teammate. And then, right as I pop up over the edge, teammate goes down. That's Shy, by the way. Shy was on one of the people from the Top 500 video. One of them. That's 2 of them. We outrange the splash, so we can kind of just do this and walk forward. It's not something that I would advise against weapons that have equal range. I don't think I hit that, yeah. They're weak. Nice. Just trying to keep things painted a little bit here. Might have been an opening there if I had been able to make a clam and we had more people. But I'm not a fan of... Yeah, I was worried that was going to happen. We're pushing in really quickly. And I'm like, okay, but there's like 3 people that are going to shoot at me if I try to push in with that. But if I've got teammates with me, maybe I need to just be helping them more. Maybe I just need to play a little more aggressively. Sneak into this position. Ah, crap. And see, now I push forward aggressively, and everyone was just kind of watching that. So... I'm probably going to try and play a little bit more to defend myself. Like, I'll try and support teammates' fights if they start, but... That's 1 down. Wonderful. I probably could have actually super jumped out of that, now that I think about it. That'll be game, yeah. In short, it did not feel like any of the fights that we were taking were good. I never felt confident, like, okay, yeah, this is a fight I can join and actually help win. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to new Chirpy Chips for sure. Is Squeezer still meta? No. It's strong, but it's not like top level meta like the foil Squeezer ever was. What are your thoughts on how much Splatoon has grown since 2015? I think, like, it's certainly grown a decent amount. I still think it's small compared to other esports. Like, Smash Melee is a tiny esport compared to how much infrastructure it has competitively. And Smash is like 8 times larger than this community is in terms of competitive play, at least as far as I've experienced it. And that's maybe being generous, I don't know. So, I think we have a long way to go before I'm in a position where I'm like, yeah, we are at the highest level we can attain. Oh my god. So Taylor, Arashi, and Shy are on the other team. This is insane. So Taylor, top player, DivX player, formerly of Slaughterhouse. Arashi plays for Last Resort. And then Shy, we played last year. What? And I've got a member of Michelin Heroes who's Div 1. I mean, that's something. But I don't recognize anybody else who's on my team. Where? Oh my god. Why did I think we were on defense that whole time? Nope. Alright, well, apparently Frank is holding it down. Oh, I completely ran into that bomb without looking at it. I was just like, I don't have to worry about anything. I can look at the clams. I didn't have to look at the clams. Rashi trying to get aggressive over the top, but I can stop that. Oh my god. Yep. They were, in fact, pushing that hard. Come on, Frank. Okay. Commentator's curse, I guess, huh? Just Arashi. Where's Arashi? We got him down earlier, but is he up over the top? If he's over the top, they get lead. God bless America. Why is nobody taking the top? This is literally the most important part of the map. I figured we had it covered because there were so many people who were in position to be able to take it. Ugh. I guess I should have taken it myself. I just didn't want to leave the front door open because nobody else was looking at that. I don't know that we get anything out of this. Oh, I got one. Can we score? No. They're crab tanked, so there's nothing gonna come of that. She's trying to spawn camp. Well, they stopped that real quick. We keep just, like, scoring, and the first time we happened to be in a position where we could follow up, but I don't think anyone's paying attention to whether we can follow up when we score. I think we just got lucky. And that's bad, because that's leading to us ending up feeding to score not enough points to get lead, and then letting them counter-push with way more clams than we've got. Well, we weren't expecting to win that one. It was way closer than I was expecting it to be. But, yeah. How do people use Squeezer? So the foil squeezer, it was one of the most versatile weapons that's ever been in Splatoon. It could do pretty much anything you wanted it to do. But the typical game plan was you're sharking people from really long range. Like, you sit in the ink, and they swim up not expecting that anyone's going to be able to hit them. And then you're just like, hi, I'm hitting you from Dually Sculpture's range, but doing damage faster, and you can't actually escape before you're dead. And that was kind of how that used to go. Is this time yet? Yes, it is. And that kind of works, except that there are fewer places that you can shark as easily. And the splash wall isn't really conducive to that strategy at all. It would really prefer a bomb. But staying back like that also helps because, I mean, for one thing you can use your range, but for another thing you can use the Trizuka more effectively from back there. Just wanted to pop in and say your tips helped me get to S+. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Do you have any plans for other collabs with other content creators? Nothing that I will speak about at this time. Which is the best Splatoon game? Well, Octo Expansion isn't a game, so are we talking about single-player campaign? Because that's all that was. In terms of single-player, I never played Splatoon 1, so I couldn't say. But I definitely like Octo Expansion of the 3 options remaining there in terms of single-player campaign. I think it had both the coolest, like, mechanics for how it worked, but also the coolest story. It actually kind of said something thematic that wasn't, like, incredibly safe to say. Do you rate the basic splatter shot over the Tenditech one? Yes. I think that Tri-Strike is pretty weak. I don't see a lot of use cases for it where I would prefer it over something like a Trizuka. Do you know if maps are going to be added seasonally? I don't know if seasonally. I know they were this season, but I have to imagine that if they're going to make a new map, it's probably going to come in on a season break. Because there was already another map that they said they were going to add that was different from what we see anywhere else. Like, it's a map that hasn't been in the game before. It's a desert level. It looked like there were pyramids in it or something. Alright. Well. Now that Shy has probably readied up into another game, I'm going to ready up and see if we can dodge having 3 DivX players on the opposite team in my lobbies. That would be nice. Can you play Ink Brush? I'm really bad at it, but I would be happy to do so in, like, Anarchy Open after this match is played out. I gotta check what time I've got right now. Okay. I'll be able to play this match, and then I did say I'll do 1 Ink Brush match, so I'll do that, but then I am gonna have to leave. Well, we're going to the right side, I guess, because we accidentally launched out in that direction. I'd really prefer to be the only player on this side most of the time. Oh, well, that was convenient. Hi. Stop flanking, please. I don't know why a Reflux is trying to flank. Maybe they're just trying to paint something that hasn't been painted yet. Nice. Oh, hi. think they can find an angle on me from here. I can just focus on what's underneath here. Ah, crap. I'm just gonna back all the way up. Nice, that actually got an assist. And now we flank and hope that they can hold zone in the meantime. Very cool. Alright. I have not had to do a lot. Come on, drop. You know you want to drop. You gotta go. You gotta go. You don't have time. Alrighty. Well, that was quick. Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm looking forward to new music getting added. I think for like the typical player, it's fine as it is right now, but for someone who plays as much as I do, the same songs start to get overplayed. Yeah, Zook is really cool. It's no Inkjet, okay? Inkjet was all of the same levels of sick, except now there's a jetpack involved, but it's still really cool. Where is my ink brush? There it is. All the way back there. I'm not even gonna mess too hard with the build. I think Ninja Squid's what I want, and I'm gonna be playing pretty aggressively, so we'll see what we can do here. Okay, tower control, hagglefish, and flounder. Alright. Stretch my hand out a little bit so that when I'm mashing, I'm not hurting myself. This is one of those weapons that really can hurt your hands if you're not careful, if you're not doing wrist stretches. Because of how much you have to mash. Get at max fire rate. The wall painted, and I am ready to flank. There we go. I'm not trying to like get particularly close if I can't be right on top of them. Like right here is not where I want to be against this player, so I'm just trying to retreat from that. The range is so weak on the weapon, you really need to just be like sneezing on them if you're going to actually hit anything. But you do have bombs to poke with in the meantime, and that's what I'm trying to do as much as I can. Oh goodness. We're not going to try and push into that yet, especially since we're the only player up. Hi. Well, I was out of range. Or missing. One or the other. But I did stall the tower for a little bit longer, so we might be able to defend it at second check instead of needing to give this up. Yeah. Good job to my teammates. They did all the work there. Oh, hi. Why did you drop down on me? That was... I guess maybe they were getting pressured from someplace else? Alright, we'll take that trade. That gets us lead. Hopefully gets his checkpoint. Nice. Oh. I should not have continued to jump as soon as I saw that that was happening. Yeah. That's a dead Hydra. They're just gonna stall as long as possible and then go down, which is smart. Best they can do there. Man, they finally found me. It's a really big hitbox that they have, so it's relatively easy for them to land. We need to stop this quick if we want to keep lead. I don't think we're going to do it. I think we need to just focus on maintaining our base. Ugh. Darn. It's not the easiest thing, because I've got 2 backliners. Okay, there we go, there we go. Your idea with this weapon is to kind of worm your way into places where it's difficult to deal with you and you're difficult to dislodge. The one thing that I will give the Squid Surge is that it gives you a way to get up walls that you normally wouldn't be able to get up to very quickly. Like in that situation, my weapon doesn't reach high enough to paint the wall, but it paints it high enough that I can Squid Surge up it. So that's like the one time that I ever use it. Oh, I thought I could dodge that well enough. I saw that they were weak. Probably should have just, like, gotten nothing to throw a bomb and dropped it at their feet. I just didn't know they were going to drop or not. Okay, someone's got to get on. There we go. Gotta watch. Oh no! Someone. Actually, they were just sharking on the wall or something. I thought they got shot from across the rail there, but they actually just snuck up on it. Oh, what region am I in? The Tenatech. I don't like lag. All right, there you go. There's how to lose with the ink brush. This is going to be one of the harder weapon select games to find a good one for, but I had an impact. I just died a lot too. Anyway, that has to be it. I am due to call my parents today, and so I gotta go and make sure that I am not late for that. So thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go and go off to a raid, so I'm not just gonna leave you on your own. We're going to go and raid Reborn. Reborn's a former teammate of mine. Looks like he's grinding solo queue at the moment. If you are interested in seeing more of me, here are my links. I have a Twitter, I have a Discord server, I have a TikTok, a YouTube channel, of course. It'll give you the Twitch as well. I do this full time, and so to help support that, I have a Patreon account and also a Metafy where you can get private lessons from me. So check out those options if you are interested. Thank you so much for the donations that you already gave me today. I really appreciate those, and those are definitely helping to keep this boat afloat. Ad revenue's been down a little bit recently, so it's helping kind of pad that out to make it so that I'm still going to be able to pay the bills and everything. So thank you, everybody. We're going to head off to Reborn now, and I forgot to click Start Raid, so that means we have another 10 seconds to wait. But, hey, If you're on YouTube, that gives you a little bit of time to skedaddle over onto the Twitch channel and to join us for that raid. So here we go. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.